We are live on the correct YouTube channel. We're live on Hard to Hurt. I started the stream on the wrong channel. I thought I had everything underway. It had like 10 viewers, and I'm like, what is going on? They were 10 cool viewers, but they were only 10 viewers. Let me get the Podbean thing underway. Yes, it's explicit. Dude, I'm a doofus. Why didn't anyone stop me? Why didn't anyone over there on YouTube, on the Icy Mike channel, stop me? Why didn't they say, hey, dude, you know, like, nobody's here, right? Watch it happen again. But this will be more evidence of my experiment. My experiment was initially to see the difference between me scheduling them and me just running them and seeing what would happen and what would be different. So again, let me know how it looks and how it sounds. Those are important things. We got the YouTube chat filling up. Sensei Seth says, you're an idiot, LOL. Love from Jesse says, I didn't even notice, LOL. What a noob. And are you going senile? Yes, I'm going senile. I started tonight's podcast. I intentionally didn't schedule it. And I thought, what would happen if I just started it up? And I was like, man, this is not good. This is not a good look. It's not working. We've got a problem. And lo and behold, I was on the wrong channel. So we're going to start up again. We're going to start this whole thing over. We got some gems from Sam and from Renz that I'm going to save, and we're going to chop them up and use them for something. But we're going to start the show proper right here, right now. Only 32 minutes late. Nepthu says, did you close Podbeam? Yes, and I guess I didn't have to do that, but I think it'll make the files easier to manage. Because believe it or not, we're going to talk about Dan the Wolfman. Yeah, Nepthu, I haven't started it back, man. Just chill out, dude. Just chill out. We're getting geared up. We're going to talk about Dan the Wolfman. I will talk about him on this. I won't talk about him in a real video, but I'll talk about him on this. Actually, I was going to do a video about him, and I made the mistake of saying that I would because I kind of like him, even though he's kind of a... But let's start this thing up. Let me go live on the podcast. Let me see if I can get the podcast up and running. You guys want to pop over there and be a first caller. Make sure we're running and we're in full effect. This is the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. I am your host, Icy Mike. And if you want to be a live guest, if you want to call in and be a part of this, you can use the app. Go to Podbean, follow Icy Mike Imperfect. You can be heard on the air. Theoretically, supposedly. I don't know. There's something wrong every week between YouTube and Podbean and OBS and my own old senile brain. Yeah. I've been called out. I've been, the gauntlet has been laid down. And we're going to talk about clout chasing. We're going to talk about clout chasing versus original content. We're going to talk about I do want to show this again. I don't have anything planned. You know what I mean? You know what I got? I got no plan. I got no notes. This is usually I write show notes here. But today there's nothing there. It's just a blank slate. But I guess that works. You guys that already saw this, I apologize. Some of you already saw this trick. I was going to do this and I messed it up again. How do I? I can't do it again. I don't have hair. Okay, so I don't have hair. So I don't brush my hair. So I don't do things while looking in a mirror that require me to know how far away things are and where things are and touch them on purpose with my hands. So I can't do this. God, this is... How do I... God! Help me. There we go. All right, so... There we go. Let's see if I can do it again. So... This is the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. I'm trying, people. I'm trying. Let me run over to Podbean. See if we got the live chat is filling up. Max Saldez says, LOL, you need an engineer ASAP. And actually, I know the right guy for the job, but you know, he doesn't already live in this house, and we're still kind of under a soft quarantine. So that's what we're working with over here. OMG, you're a monkey with a mirror. Can monkeys not tell how to do mirrors? Oh, Woo Bear 260. I mean, you are living up to the title of Imperfect. I just realized that we're doing a podcast, and that was all a visual gag, which was stupid. So for the podcast, I was holding up a whiteboard, and I was trying to drop my logo projected on. My logo was an element on the screen, and I was trying to make it line up with the whiteboard, and I couldn't, because I couldn't figure out how to do. It wasn't mirrored. Actually, I think it's because it's not mirrored. The thing I'm using is not mirrored when I'm looking at myself to monitor. But, you know, that's what we're working with. I did a visual gag on a podcast, which is even stupider. All Around Flat. Just got turned on to Practical Combat. Now you're alive. What to do? Well, you stop watching Practical Combat. You watch this live. And then when you're done, I guess you can go back to watching Practical Combat. Practical Combat Martial Arts. That's a gentleman, Sergio Perez. Some of you guys are familiar. Cuban Kung Fu guy. I did some videos with him a while back. He's a friend. He's was ahead of me in the game on YouTube. He's one of the OGs of YouTube martial arts. Melonhead says, imperfection is perfection. Yeah, especially because people don't trust perfection. People are over that. People are over that for sure. People are not interested in that anymore. It just doesn't play. Let's go over to the Podbean app, see if we got any callers. We got Max Saldez, who is the host of episode 0. You should get a blue or green screen, Mike. Pokemaster 450. Pokemaster 450, how are you doing, you big breathy son of a bitch?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm great. Do you have earphones in?
Have you not been... I do.
All right, well, turn them down or something, because I hear myself echoing through them. How you got them so loud? Why are you so loud? He's hot.
Because I'm like 70% deaf.
Oh. Well, a normal person would feel bad, but I don't. Stop being so deaf. Be set.
Okay, 65%. I'll get right on that.
Pokemaster, you were in
You're such an asshole. I love it.
Pokemaster, you were in an early episode of the podcast. I think you were on episode 0 or episode 1 or the secret. Max Saldez hosted episode -1. I hosted episode 0. You were on episode 0 with me. That's correct.
Okay, I was on.
What's your question? What can I help you
I was
with?
not with. Man, I had one, but then you started talking to me, and I went completely blank now.
Well, you're breaking up. It was fun talking to you. I'm going to cut you off. I think you need to turn that thing down. We got some technical issues. When you listen to it back,
turn it down.
When you listen to it back, you'll hear what I'm talking about. But hit me up in the chat. Love you, Pokemaster. Talk to you soon. How's everybody doing? Stop being so deaf. Haha, Icy Mike is canceled. Can you not make... Can we... Jack McCarthy says he only heard 30% of that. Oh, we're all going to hell. Ibrahim Kahil is asking Sensei Seth questions in my live chat. Listen, guys, this is not about Sensei Seth. This is about you. I was about to say that. We got Average Joe 98 is online. Average Joe 98, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Can you actually hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. You're doing it right.
Oh, sounds good. I have headphones. So
what brings you to the podcast?
Well, I'd say I'm imperfect, and that's what you talk about in this thing, right?
You are imperfect. Well, what's wrong with you? What's your problem?
Well, you know, I just graduated from college, and the job market's down the toilet, so that's one problem. But
fuck the job market, dude. What's that got to do with you? What is your problem? That's the job market's problem. What's your problem?
You're right. I'd say I haven't been doing anything that I really find meaningful for probably the last 3 years.
Yeah, because you've been in college pursuing a degree, and I guess you're not super passionate about what your degree is in?
I really like math, and that's what my degree's in, but I just feel like I haven't, I stopped connecting to people. I don't really, when I talk to people, I don't, look to connect with them at all. I don't know. Yeah,
because you don't want to, or you don't know how, or?
I'd say like my sophomore year of college was so bad that I
What
kind of like
happened to you?
just uh well, I lost my girlfriend, and I broke up, but that happens to everyone, but also my two best friends left the college. I was pretty much just alone.
All that
I
happened
was in a
in a
part
short span of time?
Yeah, in a short span of time, yeah. And they were supposed to be my roommates. So basically I was 2 miles off campus with no car and no people living with me, so I was just living basically alone. But anyways, stop me if I sound like I'm complaining. I'm just,
No, that's a
trying to
lot.
talk.
That's a lot. And
Yeah,
you're a young guy, so
yeah.
you were
So
dumb and
anyways,
sensitive.
life has ups and downs, but I haven't really been able to get back to what feeling like I'm doing what I want to be doing. I don't know.
What do you want to be doing?
Well, like my freshman year of college. I was really connecting with a bunch of people, making a bunch of friends, and I get that's just like a one-off thing because nothing's quite like freshman year of college. But like I'm sitting here at home living with my parents, obviously. If I didn't reach out to anyone else, no one would reach out to me, and I'd spend all the way to August, just talking to my parents every day.
Let me tell you what, man. I don't know a single, like, I have good friends that were my good friends in my early 20s, and I was like in their weddings and shit, and they were at the time, I thought, very important, and they were at the time important. But right now, my life at 38, I connect. I can. It's not fair for me to say I don't give a fuck about connecting with people because professionally, like for work, I connect with people. So it's not
Yeah,
fair for me to say fuck everybody. You don't need anybody because I get plenty of that. I get my fill of that. When I come
yeah,
home, I'm actually like so tired of being nice and friendly and caring about people that I'm not so good to Kristen when she's just trying to like tell me about her day because I'm overly connected with people. So it's not fair for me to say, dude, quit being a pussy. You don't need people. But I will
yeah,
tell you that not a single person from that time in my life, not a single one. And now these are my best friends. And I
yeah,
was in one of their weddings recently, and he still is one of my best friends. But even my best friend is so far behind in impact and meaning in my life, behind my family and behind my business.
yeah,
And I tell my son, he gets so fucking into what is going on with his friends, and I'm like, none of these people are gonna matter in 20 years. None of them will matter.
yeah,
So I'm not discounting that, like, oh, you lost your girl and your two homeboys and you were stuck alone, then you had no car during a vulnerable and emotional and volatile time of your life. That
yeah.
sucks. But it's over. You said you like math. Did I hear right?
Yeah, I did say that. I just completed my math degree. I got the notification that all my classes are done, so I have a math degree.
Well, so what do you want to do? So if we figure out what you want to do, we figure out how you can connect with people, or if you even need to.
Yeah, I mean, I like the engineering side of math.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I've always liked like thinking about stuff, but I don't know. I've never really gotten into my schoolwork. That might just be me being lazy, but
So you
so
don't? Are you working any kind of job, like part-time work?
I'm working at Walmart.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I know it's
Yeah,
not for you. You don't like it, but there's nothing wrong with that.
true.
What are you doing? How many hours a week are you working?
Yeah, I'm getting up at 6 a.m. So, um, I don't know. Starting some summer classes just to finish up my degree. So I'm actually have to end up dropping the Walmart because I don't think I can do 6 a.m. and still do well in tests. But
This
I was
motherfucker
working like
loves
8 hours
school,
a week or
man.
something like that.
This dude loves school.
Me?
Yeah. Do you
Just
like
trying to get my
school?
degree.
Yeah, but for what, dude? What do you? So engineering,
Yeah.
which you kind of do need school for that. So like the things I'm
Yeah.
passionate about don't require school. So for
Right.
guys like me, I'm like, fuck school. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
school, but you need school.
Yeah.
So so you're working part-time jobs, you're sort of spinning your wheels. You're not doing anything that you value. This isn't your dream. Your dream's not to work at Walmart. Not that there's anything wrong with working at Walmart. And you're not
Yeah.
connecting with people.
Right.
How old are
And
you?
also with this Corona thing, like people are told not to
Yeah, everybody's not.
connect. That
I was just curious
right.
the other day. I was in the grocery store and I saw this guy checking this girl out. And I was thinking, like, right now during coronavirus, like, if a guy sees a girl or a girl sees a guy that they think is like hot, what do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah, you're not gonna walk
Actually,
over and like chat him up.
Happened to me. I got this girl's number right before we went off to spring break.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, seriously. Jeez. Anyways.
You better get good at Skyping, bro.
Nah.
Do you? So now is a bad time. I don't know how you can connect with people other than hanging out with me right now. So that's a start. Sure. Online communities are a real thing. It used to be dude, when I was your age, dating online, communities online, live chats, all that stuff was geek status. Like you were a loser if you were part of online communities. But online communities are real now. Online communities, in a lot of ways, are more real than the real world. I am more myself with you right now than I am with, potential, business, business colleagues. And, when I first meet a client, I'm not totally myself. I mean, I'm myself, but I'm not like myself, Yeah. So you can connect with people online, man, while you're in school. Just eyes on the prize. Don't think about what you want. It's just like working out, man. You're trying to get stronger, but lifting weights sucks. But you want to be stronger more than you want to lift weights, right? More than you want to not lift weights right now.
Yeah.
So you want to be an engineer more than you want to not be alone right now and not have doofus friends who bail on you and some bitch of a girlfriend that left you. You know what I mean? You want those other things more. So just eat the shit now and know that it's temporary, which I know it's easy for me to say because I'm already doing.
Well, see, the thing is, I think there's something like that I'm doing wrong because it doesn't seem super temporary. This happened to me so many years ago. I should be over it. I should be over it at this point. But then
maybe you are doing something wrong. When you said that, you know what I mean? So that's got to be it. So what are you doing? How about this? So you have a long-term goal. We know that, right?
Yeah.
What a lot of people do is they have this long-term goal that they really want to get to, but then their short-term goals, they don't set them and knock them down. Like, what are you going to do tomorrow about being an engineer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that's not a rhetorical question. What are you going to do tomorrow?
Well, my classes start in like Monday to be able to finish my degree.
I didn't fucking ask about Monday, did I?
My bad.
I said, what are you going to do tomorrow?
I don't have much planned for tomorrow.
That's your problem.
Yeah.
That's why you feel like you're spinning your wheels. You feel like you're doing something wrong. You feel like you're not, like, what am I even doing? Why do I even exist? Life is meaningless, right? Because you have a far off goal, but you're not doing shit about it right now. So you're being too patient with tomorrow while being impatient with 5 years from now.
One thing that I do every other day pretty much, and you've helped me do this because I've talked to you on Facebook, is that you help me work out. And I think that's really improved my life, and I want to thank you for that.
Dude, no, I want to thank you for that awesome feedback, for that validation. Lets me know I'm doing my job. That's what you need. You need some measure of, are you doing your job? So
I was the guy with bicep tendonitis over the summer, and you told me, dude, you really just have to rest.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
You can't go through it.
Right.
Yeah, and my bicep tendon is good at the moment.
That's awesome to hear. Take good care of it. Eat a lot of protein, rest, drink a lot of water, sleep. You know what I mean? Yep. So that's awesome. You're working out, which means you're going to be jacked and ripped, and you're going to get a girlfriend that's like way hotter than that last one and does more stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going to have a better job. So you're going to be jacked and ripped and have a good job. Dude, you can bang that girl's sister if you wanted to. Like, you could do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you need to get on the case. You need to hit the ground. You need to be doing something tomorrow, even if it's something small.
Yeah.
Sensei Seth over in the
in
the YouTube chat, he was fresh out of college, got disengaged with his fiance. I don't know that that's a thing. No job, online classes, etc. He was super depressed. He was a loser. Sensei Seth was a big old fat loser with no life. And now look at him.
Yeah.
He's not a loser anymore.
I just don't know, I could study engineering manuals to, become a better engineer, but I don't know how to do that with trying to connect with people,
So okay, no, look, you're going to learn about all that math and engineering and nerd shit. You need to figure out. So here's what you should do. You should figure out the other like soft skills. Like you have trouble connecting with people. You don't feel like you're connected. You need to find out. So the job market sucks, and you're going to blame the job market because no one's out here like just like lining up to offer you jobs. You need to start tomorrow. I would figure out, all right, so I don't fucking know anything about engineering. Do you go work at a firm or an engineering store?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
Like you go, do you do engineering out of the back of your car? Do you do black market engineering? I don't know. You figure out where you do engineering stuff, like where the engineering store is, and you find out who is the manager of that store, right?
Yeah.
And then you fucking find out like how you can connect with him. You find out success stories of people who did what you want to do. Like you can do research that's not like directly related to your thing. And this goes for anything. Like this is how I did YouTube. I was like, so who does YouTube? How do I do YouTube? Let me find out. I was learning about the stuff. I wanted to do fitness and self-defense content. I knew all that stuff. You're going to know engineering. I need to know how I delivered that. How do I put it on YouTube? You need to learn how do I get that dream job if it is your dream job.
Yeah.
So you can do things, even though school hasn't started, you could be like, I need to start making sure my resume is cool. I need to start fucking picking out clothes when I go on these job interviews. You know, you need to do something every day so you can like say, today I did this that's going to help me accomplish my dream. And then you'll have a little something to tide you over, but you're not going to connect with anybody in real life. So you need to find ways to connect with people online. Fucking start Skype. The girl whose number you got, and then you went on spring break and it was all over. So you're not texting her? You're not Skyping with her? You're not doing anything?
No, she just texted me a second ago, actually.
Then what the fuck are you talking about, man? Get up your text game, up your Skype game, get her on a video chat with you and fucking be cool. And if you don't know how to be cool on a video chat, watch videos by guys who are good at this shit and fucking learn how to do that. There's people that know what you want to do. So that's what it is. You got to pick little small goals that you can knock out one at a time so you can feel better about your time.
I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you. The things you said to me meant more to me than probably the things I said to you. That's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, I had this, it was part of the not connecting. I had this really good friend, jacked, super jacked, right? Mm-hmm. But he would not give me a bit of like advice when it came to my tendinitis. And like that was a part of my life where I was realizing like, why am I not connecting with these people? And so
and you felt like he could. Well, just because did you feel like he did know how he could help you, or because just because you're jacked?
He's a physical therapist major, so
fuck that guy. Then fuck him. Fuck him right in his. Fuck everything about him.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks, man.
All right. See you later, buddy.
Thanks.
All right. This is the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. I'm having fun. This is more like it. This is the kind of shit I like. We could talk about uppercuts and spin kicks and all this shit, but like martial arts and fighting and YouTube are good little snapshots and good little like microcosms of like the whole thing about being a human. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, says Just In Case. Just In Case with the super chat. Thank you so much. He says cool. Jack McCarthy, $5 because your first caller has a math degree. So I gotta thank Average Joe for that $5. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel with the super chats. Nepthu says, Mike, tell me the story about how you got the X-Men video game. Oh, is that really an interesting story? We got Gone Kid. We're bringing in Gone Kid on the Podbean app. If you want to be a live caller, you go get the Podbean app. Follow Icy Mike Imperfect. All right. Gone Kid.
Oh.
Gonked? Ganked? How do I say this?
That's the one.
Ganked?
That's the one, ganked. Yo.
What's up, man?
Not much. Actually, on a pretty good high. Like Joe, I literally finished my master's degree less than an hour and a half ago. That shit's cool.
That's fucking awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. Literally submitted the last assignment. That's me done. I'm now officially a master of chemistry.
Of chemistry?
And, yeah.
Dude, we got some fucking nerds up in the house tonight. Who's if you're a nerd, put a comment in the YouTube chat. Other nerds, if you're into like chemistry and math and science, oh man. Ibrahim Khalil says, yo, Icy Mike, let's chill with the therapy sessions and talk about Wolfman. So talking about the Wolfman is less important than talking about Average Joe's issue, I think. But Ganked, so we went from low with the promise of better days with Average Joe to a supreme high with the possibility of a crashing defeat in the form of Ganked because he's about to enter that shitty job market.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to enter the city job market just yet. I'm thinking doing another degree, maybe going medicine, but
You're gonna do more school? You're one of these school. What's up with you school junkies?
I don't know, man. I just enjoy learning. Like, you know those jack of all trades motherfuckers that just like,
I've known guys that just they go to school forever. They're like 45 and they're going back for their 14th degree and some other shit.
I don't want to be, I don't want to be that guy, but I want to be like, I think I'd stop at a medic, I'd stop at being a doctor. I think I'd go
So
back to,
so you sound a little different. Are you from Arizona or something?
no, I'm from Scotland, mate.
You're from Scotland, mate. The Scottish accent is it's a toss up. The Scottish and the Irish accent to me are both really cool. I think the Scottish
Yeah.
one's a little cooler because it's a little harder. Like a little like more, got a little more balls to
Yeah,
it.
Irish can be very. It depends on what part of Ireland you're
That
from, but it can be very lyrical. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. When a Scottish dude says something, a Scottish dude can say regular shit and it just sounds better. Do you study martial arts?
I do. Fuck. I started. You're probably gonna laugh at this, but Taekwondo when I was 4 years old.
Taekwondo when you were 4 years old?
Yep. It was in with an organisation, so not like the WTF or the ITF. It was one that was slightly lower than that.
So it was a McDojo?
Some parts of it, cultiness that you get with these sort of organisations, like
Say what now?
yeah, there was that the cultiness, like sort of the cult that bow to people and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
People demanding respect. Like I didn't really come out of that until I was about 14 years old and realised, wait, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
The
I
martial
was.
arts that they taught was cool and that, and like they taught proper punches and kicks. And
So what are you doing now?
so now, so back then I was world champ in quotation marks. So I went to Malaysia, I went to
Dang.
Italy, Greece, and I fought all over the world when I was till I was about 16. Won the competition at the adult level, and then just stopped.
And then just stopped. So I was a teenager. I was traveling the world doing Taekwondo, and then I just was like, meh, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, like it just didn't appeal to me anymore. So I decided to go finish school, go to uni, get my degree, and then like obviously going from that level of intensity of workout and then doing nothing, your boy got fat, right?
Oh, you got fat?
So yeah, well, yeah. So oh shit, I don't even know how to exchange this to American, but if you're at a computer right now, if you type 16 stone,
Wait,
16
wait.
stone.
You said what? You're not as quite as bad as the average American? Is that what you said?
No, I said I don't know how to convert into American. But 16 stone
Oh,
times
224 pounds. He's saying he weighs 16 stones because apparently he lives in the Middle Ages where they like, how did they decide to weigh shit? Like, how many stones does he weigh? Like, what is this stuff? Like, there's like 4 different stones over there. They're all different sizes. He weighs like 16 of those things.
how did they figure out what a pound was?
You're
Did you just pick up a
224
pound?
pounds if you're 16 stone.
Yes, correct. I was that. I'm not that now.
What are you now?
But now, oh god, about I would say about 180 pounds maybe. So about
Well, how many
13,
stone? I've got the thing pulled up right now.
13.5. Say.
189 pounds. And how tall are you?
Yeah. 5'8".
All right. So you're a little, are you, I mean, is it muscle? Are you stocky or?
I would say, well, obviously I don't want to humble brag, but I would say I've got quite large shoulders here. But yeah, I've got a belly on me still. But yeah, I joined a martial arts gym, another one, jiu-jitsu. It has jiu-jitsu. It has Muay Thai. It's got wrestling, so it's got the whole shebang
It's
basically. And I was really
it's
interested.
an MMA school.
Yeah, it's an MMA school. But actually, a couple of fighters regularly train there from UFC. Jojo from Scotland, she regularly trained there in the Muay Thai school. So it's actually quite a prestigious school. And I recently joined to for the jiu-jitsu.
Well, cool, man. So everything's looking up for you. Everything's looking up for you. That's good.
Yeah. I've got a question about some martial arts things that I would like to talk to you
Sure.
about.
What's up?
Okay. So, Taekwondo,
Mhm.
everything's about kicks, right?
Say what?
Everything's about kicks with Taekwondo, yeah?
As far as I know, yeah. I mean, there's going to be guys, we do punches too, but yeah, it's about kicks.
Right, it's about kicks, right? So, my kicks are pretty good.
Mhm.
Now, what that leaves me is wanting to have my left foot back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And that leaves my right hand forward, which
Yep.
is obviously, you've done, I believe, a couple of videos on,
Right.
I'm a southpaw, blah, blah, but I'm not really a southpaw, I just enjoy having my left leg back. So
Right. I'm with you
I do
so
the
far.
wrestling, I do the wrestling, I do the jiu-jitsu, adding more martial arts into my repertoire, and I started Muay Thai, and yeah, like, having my left leg back feels powerful because I can kick, right? My punching is shit.
Right.
I'm not
So
a
you're
kickboxer.
so let me try to sum up and make it clear. You are right. Your right leg in front, you feel like is more powerful, so you can kick with it, side kicks and whatnot, stuff like that, right?
No, my back. I like my left leg, so my strong leg is my left leg, and I like that back, so I can throw power kicks.
Uh-huh.
But I'm right-handed.
You were right-handed but left-legged.
Correct.
So if you're in a Taekwondo context, which hand, I guess doesn't matter. It's about, and I know they switch more too than the average guy who does like MMA or kickboxing. Is your question about what stands for like MMA?
Well, yeah, because like I want to learn better boxing. I want to learn better Muay Thai. But,
Right. You want to learn about each of the martial arts.
Yeah. So what should my foundation be? Should my foundation be like sitting with my left foot back, or should I learn completely different and go back to like a regular common stance?
Well, what your foundation should be is meaningless now because we have to go with what your foundation is. You were a fucking world champion in Taekwondo, so that's your foundation, right? And we'll never change that, and we shouldn't try to change that. The context of that video where I said you shouldn't be a right-handed southpaw, that was very specifically, and I'm intentionally a little, I bury that lead hard. I was talking to guys who were first starting out, and they're like, oh, I feel better if I put my right hand in front. And the coach is trying to tell them not to, and they're like, but I feel better that way. Well, fuck what you feel. The difference between them and you is you did this for years and years and years, and you traveled all over the world, and that's who you are. Your left leg back for a big power kick is awesome. That's great. Your power leg back is a part of most of the modern striking arts that are coming, like Dutch style kickboxing and Muay Thai, the stuff that's coming over into MMA. So it doesn't much matter. And in fact, if you're right-handed but left-legged and your boxing and your punching is not that good, what I would do is I'd probably go to boxing class and I'd probably box right-handed some and box left-handed some. You probably are in a position where I would say you can switch stances. If like you were my guy, I'd be like, we'll see, because you already have that background. That video was aimed at people with no background who just liked it better because that's how they felt. And it's like, well, fuck what you feel because you don't know what you're talking about. So your power leg back is dope, but I think if you get them hands real good, I'm partial to lead leg kicks. I prefer lead leg kicks to rear leg kicks. My left leg is not as powerful, but it's more dexterous. It's quicker. And I feel safer using the lead leg. You put that powerful leg out front, and now you're fighting from orthodox with an awesome lead leg kick. And you could probably do a thing that a lot of people can't do in striking arts is lead leg round kicks with no switch. Just pop it up and go and have it have any power on it. I can do that with... Yeah, so you could do that, no problem. And that's a dangerous weapon. If you can throw a lead leg head kick with no switch, you are a dangerous, dangerous dude. Any of you guys that train in the comments, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that it's not scary when a dude can throw a head kick from his lead leg with power, with no switch. Sensei Seth is left-legged, right-handed, and he prefers southpaw. He says I switch depending on what I want to do, but he fights mostly southpaw. I have to get him to switch. Anytime we're trying to demonstrate something, I'm like, fucking turn the other way. He tries to go southpaw to start with. So it's about styles, and you have enough natural ability and tools and skills and experience and muscle memory that you'll probably end up being good both ways, or all four ways,
That,
rather.
that's another issue, though, right? That's another issue. So, for example,
Say what?
I'm trying to start something. That's another issue that I have, right? So you said Sensei, he switches when you're demonstrating stuff. Now,
Yeah.
a lot of my coaches, I'm starting out with the beginner classes, right? I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
the Muay Thai, etc. So when I'm in there with other people who are just starting themselves, it's like, do I stay southpaw and learn from me, or do I try and help them at the same time because I have that experience? Like,
All right. So I do have an answer for that, and it's not a popular one. And I've changed my answer over the years. The old me would have said, when you go to, try to help your partner, help them work, make their lives easier. But the new me says that if you're attending classes as a student, your job is to obviously not hurt them, but the person primarily in charge of making your training productive is you. The person primarily in charge of making their training productive is them. Now, if you're my partner and it's a brand new technique and I suck and I'm new and I just don't get it because you're standing all fucked up and you're moving around like one of them Taekwondo dudes, one of them Taekwondo dorks, I might ask you, and I'm experienced in other martial arts. If this is my first time in this martial art, I'd be like, hey, can you fucking hold still for a second? Let me figure this out. But you're going to be a special case. I think you should do some of your training like normal, like the right way, but you should also like be free and experiment. It just depends on, I would approach, if you're training the martial arts separately, like you're training just Muay Thai, I would go like empty cup. Like if you're just trying to learn that martial art, go empty cup. Don't try to make it Taekwondo flavored Muay Thai yet. I've said this before. Train it as pure Muay Thai, and then you have enough muscle memory and experience that your Taekwondo will come back.
Yeah, that's true. Like I'll often find myself like switching stances.
Yeah, that's fine. And you'll go back to what you're comfortable with anyway. But when you're trying to learn, John Didier in the super chat, he super chats me $20 and says, hate the profanity and vulgarity. That's a very mixed message. You're essentially like throwing dollars at a stripper, telling her to go home. I don't know what to do with this information. Well, I appreciate you so much, Ganked, and congratulations on your degree, and good luck in your training, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right, I'll catch you on another podcast.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. You know about me.
Max Saldez in the Podbean app says, fuck that super chat. John, I'm trying to understand, buddy. I'm trying to understand. If you hate the profanity and the vulgarity, so here's the problem, is sometimes I work clean. So did you end up here because you saw some videos where I wasn't being profane and vulgar? You know? Long John says, no switch lead leg kick means you're highly skilled. Yeah, or you practice that one thing a lot. Nepthu says, I never heard that comb your hair thing. I like it. What? I missed something. Arjun Bakker. I was always a back leg kicker until I messed up that knee. Since then, I started kicking with the lead leg, and it is so much more dangerous simply because of the speed, less reaction time. But it probably felt shitty at first. It probably felt terrible at first. And, but you practiced it. It's amazing how that works. So, John, I'm sorry that you hate the profanity and the vulgarity. Love from Jesse with the $20 Canadian dollars. Oh, God, you test my patience. Says, love the profanity and the vulgarity. I don't know what's Canadian to it. Yeah, I don't know how to calculate that, but that's tough. John, I'm sorry. So the podcast will be largely profane and vulgar. It happens, but I don't believe that it's excessive. I believe profanity has a place, and I think that the times I use it, it's always like either for comedic effect or to prove a point. And I want you to really understand. It's like a catch-all version of very. It's like adding very to everything. Like, I very want you to very listen to me. Very now. That's how I use it. If you're wondering where the callers are coming from, it's that Podbean app down there. There's a link in the description below, icymike.podbean.com. Ibrahim Khalil says, Icy Mike, you got to do more impressions. They're top notch. Yeah, I've been working on one for like the longest time, and I'm actually breaking my own rules by trying to make it perfect. And it's not perfect. It's hard because he's American. And anytime I'm doing an American, it's hard to do. So I probably just need to go ahead and release it, even though it's bad. And maybe that's good. The issue is I can't say, there's one word that the guy says a lot, and I can't say it the way he says it. I can't do it. But maybe I just need to make that, maybe I just need to embrace it and just lean into how bad it is. That might be the solution. That would be what I would tell you guys to do. Renz Davis in the Podbean chat says, Mike should do a Jesse Enkamp impression. Renz, I did that one. Who? Nick Drosos? No, not Nick Drosos. Not Nick Drosos. Is he American? He's got some kind of accent. Maybe this Chip Altman, my good friend, one of my longest friends, one of the guys I was talking about with that first gentleman, one of my longest, most important friends. Haven't seen him in years. See what I mean? He says, maybe discuss the difference between profanity and vulgarity. I don't know the difference. Maybe I need a linguist to explain it to me. Ibrahim Khalil. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Weren't you growing the beard for the impression? I wasn't growing the beard for the impression so much as I was not shaving it for the impression. Kristen's been dying for me to shave this beard. She wants me to shave this beard off of my face. She hates it. She hates that there's always food stuck in it. She thinks it's unsanitary. She thinks it's disgusting. She wants it gone. But I need it for the impression that I've been working on for like 6 months. Words give life and destroy. I go back and forth. I go back and forth between, how important I think they are and how I think they don't mean anything. That's I battle all the time. My instinct is like, words mean nothing. You can say what you want, do what you want. I don't care what anyone says. But then other times I think about times where I was really hurt by words. Sensei Seth says, words or sounds we agree mean something. So Sensei Seth always is on this kick about like when we're naming techniques or stuff. And he's like, it doesn't matter. Like the names of it don't matter. He's just very like, the details, like he doesn't think that details and semantics matter. And he says words are just sounds that we agree what they mean. But I bet I could say some shit that would hurt his feelings. So then that calls it all into question. It's like they mean something. They have power that you gave to them, but it's still power. Doc Tarnation, Nick Dross is a Canadian of Greek background from Montreal. So I guess that's why his accent sounds like something to me. Oh, no, I mean they mean something. Google says that obscenity gets you in trouble with the law, profanity gets you in trouble with religious folks and the powers that be, vulgarity just gets you in trouble with your mother. I don't think Google said that. Somebody else said that and Google found that information for you, Justin Lakey. Nepthu says, Mike, any thoughts to share on Cejudo versus Cruz? Yes, I do. I do. Clean the food. Jason says, clean the food out of your beard, you filthy American. And tenor of the year. And Porky Pineapple says, spoken like people have never kissed someone with a beard. Tenor of the year, Icy Mike got a Will Kane type cadence. I don't know who Will Kane is. Jake Baked says, don't let your girl knock your beard. Embrace the power it naturally brings you. Not another impression video, but over the Podbean. Was fine with the stoppage. So let's talk about Cejudo versus Cruz. I'm going to give you my wildly unqualified opinion. I have two opinions. One, it was not an early stoppage. Not by any definition that I observe or that, you should observe. Just because it's Dominic Cruz. And here's the thing. You think, well, it's Dominic Cruz, they should let it go. Like if you remember, Conor McGregor took a pretty bad beating from Khabib, and they let that go a little longer than they would have let it go if it wasn't Conor McGregor. So I know that people are treated different. That's a fact. They can say, no, we don't do that. When you know the guy on bottom getting beat up and you know who he is and what he's about, you'll give him more time than you would other people. That's a fact. We see it happen. Maybe it's not supposed to happen. I don't know, but it does happen. The ref has to make that call. And I actually think he should. If he knows the dude, he knows what the dude's capable of, and he's seen that, I think they're qualified professionals. I don't have much problem with refs. That was not an early stoppage. Dominic Cruz was taking punches to the head and not making any attempts to stop taking punches to the head. I don't know whether it was because he was out, because he was dazed, or because the punches didn't hurt and he didn't think he needed to address them. I want to see what happens if you get on a guy's back and you just go like this and barely touch him so that he doesn't feel compelled to like address the punches, but you're making a big show like you're punching the guy over and over and over again, and the ref is like, oh, holy shit, that guy just punched him 74 times and stops it. But the guy's like, what are you doing? He's like, he was punching you. He was like, I didn't even know. I want to see if that's a real strategy. I'm the type of guy to win a fight like that. I want to try to win a fight like that. Shannon Jarrett says, the glasses make you look like you were reporting for jury duty. LOL, all joking aside, I love your videos. Thanks, Shannon. Melonhead, beard means plus 100 masculinity. Ibrahim Khalil says, yeah, let it flow and let it grow, Mike. Get a good barber, some oil and balm, and good beard. I used to have a good barber and oil and beard, and, I had somebody that took care of it. But, yeah, obviously we don't have that anymore. YNSA Sway says, he took like 12 unanswered shots. If they would have let that fight go on, he would have just taken more severe damage. Yeah, He took a bunch of unanswered shots, but I think he might have been taken. I don't think they were hurt. Either he was dazed from the punches or they weren't hurting because they weren't big, huge punches. I think there's a possibility that he wasn't worried about him, that he was consciously aware of what was happening. I think that that's possible. We're talking about a very, very salty veteran. The other facet of it that I would like to talk about is the fact that it looked like he was trying to sell those footwork DVDs. I saw an ad a couple days before the fight of him trying to say, you want to have footwork like me, Dominic Cruz? Check out this footwork. And then he came out and started doing the footwork against Cejudo, and he was just doing it so extra, and he looked very like stiff and not like, it just looked a little too try hard. I was like, is this dude out here trying to sell this course? He's fighting a champion and he's trying to sell this course? Dude, you better fucking get in there and do like real shit and not try to sell this course. Because Cejudo did not care about any of that footwork. Cejudo did what I call as refusing to adjust, and Dominic needed to adjust. The footwork didn't work this time. Yeah. No, and so, wait. Let's make it clear before you guys get all happy in the chat. It was a poor commercial for the footwork. No, before you guys get all happy, I'm not saying that his footwork is no good. I'm not saying that that course is bad. I'm not saying that learning from him, his footwork would not be amazing. And just because something didn't work that one time doesn't mean it sucks. If I like went to throw a jab and someone parried it and punched me and knocked me out, that doesn't mean jabs suck. It doesn't even necessarily mean my jab sucks. It does. But it looked weird, and I don't know whether it's because of the rust of the layoff or what, but it just looked strange. And I haven't watched a Dominic Cruz fight in a long time, and I need to compare it. So before I like smack the gavel and say I have decreed that he was trying to sell courses, it just looked stiff. So either he was stiff because he was rusty or because he was nervous. I don't know. Probably not nervous. I mean, besides the normal nerves, you know what I mean? But I was like, that's too much footwork for no reason. Like, that looks like just footwork for the sake of footwork. That's kind of what I think about that fight. Bum, bum, bum. Sensei Seth says Cejudo's also a baller, to be fair. Sensei Seth would be a Cejudo fan. Cejudo and Ferguson both are the type of dudes that they're so good. You just don't. Now, not Ferguson for me. I'm talking about in general. I think Ferguson, I love everything about him. But to a lot of people, those are the type of dudes. Those are the type of dudes that you just don't want them to be good, but they are. It's like annoying. Tina Lynch in the YouTube chat says, it looked like he was trying to get up. I agree. I think that he was not addressing the punches because he didn't feel like he needed to. I don't know if that is making sense. Pop me a comment down below if you get what I'm saying. When I'm saying he was consciously deciding not to address the punches because they weren't bothering him. Much in the same way that Ferguson was not addressing Gaethje's punches, and he should have been because they added up. Long John. Dominic Cruz making claims that the ref was under the influence reeking of alcohol and cigarettes. Then why the hell did he not say something before the fight? Rhetorical question. I mean, we're just talking about dudes. Even these dudes at the top of the game. Like when you meet these guys and talk to them, you realize that they're just dudes. They're just dudes. They're not like prophets. They're not experts in anything other than fighting. They're not always these amazing, insightful, profound individuals. Sometimes they're just dudes. And that comes with all the things that comes with just being a regular dude. Like we have insecurities, we lash out, we project. I just you can't say like, oh my God, he's protect. Like, of course, he lost a fight. He got beat up on TV and lost a fight. It's a hard thing to do, even for the most insightful and self-aware dude to say, yep, I just got my ass kicked. That sucks. Got my ass kicked. He was better than me. That's hard. Chuck Liddell saying the Ferguson versus Gaethje fight stopped 90 seconds early. I'm not taking advice from Chuck Liddell on like you guys fill in that joke. Long John says that is a real strategy, Icy Mike. What is? Him just trying to get up without addressing the punches because he didn't think they were an issue? Justin Lakey, you have a million things to do in a fight. You got to prioritize something, and if the punches aren't that threatening. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've had some successes and some failures, like not addressing punches. Mike forgetting about Dominic Cruz eating that nasty knee. Yeah, so he did take the knee. It wasn't it? They were trying to throw a kick. Cejudo was trying to look like he was throwing a kick, but the knee came up. Let's see. At time, Doom Donuts. It's not leg muscle. That would be weird. One leg develop more than the other. It's leg muscles. Build both. Don't favor one over the other. Feel the legs burn from the kung fu. You guys must be talking about something else. Let me look over in this Podbean chat. See what we got going on. If you want to be a caller, you just get that Podbean app. Follow Icy Mike Imperfect on Podbean. Link is in the description. I'd like to bring you on, talk about whatever you want to talk about. We got a blank slate tonight. Nepthu says, Mike's the expert at leg muscles. Look what we got tonight. We got a blank slate. We got nothing going. We got nothing going on. It's the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast with your boy. God, there it goes. Someone take a screenshot, quick, so I don't have to keep doing this. Let's see what we got over on Podbean. Let's bring in this Mark Joseph. This is a new name. Mark Joseph, you are online.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was mostly focused on your first caller.
Don't be nervous, Mark. Don't be nervous. We're all friends.
I didn't say nervous. I said focused.
No, but you sound nervous. Are you nervous? Don't be nervous.
No, this is my voice.
It's just how I talk, dude. What's up, man?
Huh?
What's up? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, you called. First time caller.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, I was thinking about your first caller, and I was listening while you were conversing with him.
Oh, do you have something to offer? Something to add?
To add, and it's all basically the same question, but it's from a different perspective. I'm actually a couple years older than you, so.
Damn, you're old.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear
that. So, he was talking about how, because of his focus on his studies and his work, he has trouble socializing. Well, I'm in the same boat, but I'm 20 years older, so it's a little rougher. And being 20 years older now, I'm already in the mindset of want to get married, want to have kids, but I haven't socialized. So,
dude,
if you don't have those are social skills are something you develop over time. So if you don't have them at this point.
Yes. A lot of people don't think about when they say that term social skills, they don't think about what that really means. And if you hear the word in their skills, that implies that you have to like learn how to do it and practice it to be good at it. You know, so that's sort of people sort of take that for granted. It's like with a lot of things. They just sort of assume that they have it by virtue of existing. Like, oh, I have social skills because I'm not a gross idiot that licks people when he meets them. It's like, no, dude, you're a little awkward and weird, you know, and people don't like that. But the cool thing is how old are you?
40.
40. I'm assuming you got a job?
Yes.
You got like a good job?
Yes.
Are you in shape?
And I'm starting my own business too. Well, building my own business. Are
you in shape?
Not lately, because I got injured a couple of times. So the ortho said I can't run anymore, and
good.
So that
Fuck
precludes
running.
martial arts as well. No, it precludes martial arts as well, because he says I need to.
You could lift weights, though, right?
True. Yeah.
So here's the cool thing about like the modern climate. Like if you're not seeing anybody, you know, like, and you're maybe like looking for a girlfriend or looking to date or whatever. Dudes, middle-aged dudes with good jobs, if they're in shape, this is like, it's a seller's market for you if you can tick those boxes. You don't even have to be particularly handsome. If you just have a decent job and you're in decent shape, it's a seller's market for dudes right now in your age group, because now you're gonna have to get with somebody who's divorced and got kids and shit, though. That's a fact. You're going to be somebody's stepdad.
Divorce is going to be a problem because I'm Catholic. So
if she's been divorced, that's a problem for you?
No, not for me. For if I want to get married in my church, it's a problem. Divorce is not acknowledged in the Catholic Church. So
well, when the Catholic Church wasn't invented, 40-year-old dudes weren't out there trying to get married. You already,
True.
You know, when all that shit was invented, y'all were like 12 and shit, and it was arranged by your parents or whatever, however they did it back then. You know, they ain't never been 40 in America. Are you American? Are you in America?
Yes.
They ain't never been 40 in
California.
Yeah. The Catholic Church didn't make up those rules for people who were 40 in America in 2020. That's for sure. But dude, it's a seller's market for you, man. And so you just need practice. You just need practice. And the way you get
practice. That's the thing.
Is,
I am practiced. So the field that I studied is theater. So the company that I'm starting, my own work, is I'm a writer. So I produce my own work.
Mm-hmm.
So I interact with people all the time. Right before your podcast, I was like I said in the chat, I was part of a Zoom meeting because I'm the stage manager for a kids show.
Oh, that's
I interact
cool.
well. I can converse and engage, especially with children. I do well with children, but I think it's the psychology of courtship that just messes with my head.
Well,
and I think that's what I need to get over. Because when you think courtship, you think you're thinking your future, so you've got all this pressure and baggage.
Bingo! You hit it. You said it. When you're thinking about courtship, which what are you? Are you from the 20s? Like, are you carrying a rapier? Oh, you're a theater guy. Okay, I understand. All right, so with courtship, you feel pressure because there's stakes. Like, oh, if I mess this,
the stakes are high.
If I mess this up, she'll judge me. But with kids, there's no judgment. They think you're cool. Like, if you just do anything funny, they think you're cool. If you're just nice and fun, they like you. There's no judgment. They're pure. They're unjaded by the world yet. So if you're just a cool, fun dude, which I'm sure you are, they like you. So, just a wild idea. The problem comes from, it's super easy to always say, well, just don't let the pressure get to you. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
It's easy to say, hard to do.
Yes, but that's the key. Like, that really is the answer. Because if you are yourself, here's the difference. If you are yourself, Mark, some of these women will think you are goofy and weird and, no, he's a theory, he's freaking weird. They will think that, right? But it's just like being bald. Most girls don't like bald guys. But the girls that like bald guys really like bald guys. You know what I mean? So, like,
yes.
So like the girls in the thongs, twerking in rap videos are not gonna like a guy like, well, they might, you know what I mean? But the Instagram model type, you know what I mean, may or may not be into you, but you won't know until you find out. And a lot of girls are gonna think, well, this guy's kind of different, and he's not real suave and slick. But when a girl that does like that meets you, she's gonna fucking love you. But you have to shoot your shot. You have to take shots at the basket. So say you're a terrible shot, right? But you're going to make no baskets if you don't shoot. There's a saying. There's someone more important and more famous than me that made a saying. You miss a bunch of the shots you don't. Wayne Gretzky. You miss all the shots you don't take, or some shit like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Oh, yeah,
terribly.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. But, dude, guys with good jobs, creative, fun guys with good jobs in their 40s who are stable and not stalkers, right? It's a seller's market for you, man. I'm telling you. The guys I know that are middle-aged are crushing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Probably, when was the last time you dated seriously?
It ended October. We started dating that Easter, so.
Oh, so it was like a short thing.
Yes.
Yeah, you just need more at-bats, man. You just need to get up, like, just shoot your shot. Like, who can? You're awesome. You are an awesome person that people like. You know that because children have fun when you do the kids show and you're around. Like, kids can tell when you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So we know that you're cool, right? So if people don't like you don't connect with people, fuck them. Fuck everybody like them. Move on to the next thing. Easier said than done, I know, but that really is the answer, in my opinion.
Yes. So another subject, before I move on.
Sure.
A couple of podcasts ago, I asked you and Sensei Seth about escalation of force, something like, or it might have been on a YouTube chat. But I was watching Sensei Seth have a discussion with, I forget his name, the one you made a video making fun of him.
Jesse Enkamp.
Jesse Enkamp.
Yeah.
So they were talking about the value of kata, value of forms.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking that when it comes to studying escalation of force, that's, I think, the value of forms. Because oftentimes when you do forms, there are pauses. So those pauses might be moments where you've struck your opponent and he's to the ground, and you're thinking, should I proceed or not? So
yeah. I mean,
so when you're teaching a course, could you incorporate that sort of thing? Especially since I'm in theater, I mainly teach like Western martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
when I'm choreographing something and I say, well, they stop here because now they're assessing each other, things like that.
Well, the way that you so maybe, but I think a much more efficient way to learn. I call that sensitivity, like knowing how much to give. You actually develop that where you develop most of your skills, which is in competitive sparring with people that you are more skilled than.
I see.
Yeah, that's me. I see. Right? No, people that you are more skilled than. Because with them, you're in charge. You're leading the dance, right? So you get to pick. They only get to hit you if you let them. They only get to sweep you if you let them. They only get to do whatever they want to do if you let them. So you're in charge, and you can ramp up or lower the force whenever you want. So, I mean, taking time to pause, which I do teach when I teach techniques. I teach people to pause at certain points to perfect like little transitional positions in them. Like while you're throwing your punch, stop here, pause, fix your hand, make sure your elbows are in, all that. But I don't think punching and kicking air, it might do it, but there's no way that it does it as good as actually holding a person down. You know, like
average, no, not, is it Average Joe? No, the second caller. He was asking about, was it Average Joe or the second caller? They were asking about forms.
Yeah.
And visualizing. Well, thinking about escalation probably would help with visualizing, because do you proceed to the next level or do you stop and the threat is...
I think that kata does hold all the values that you're saying.
Yes.
My position has never been that kata holds no value. I think it does. I think it just is so small compared to all the value that you get from live resistance. Now, not everybody can do that or is willing to do that. You know, not everybody wants to go to work on Monday with a black eye. You know what I mean? Not everybody wants the bumps and bruises and the stuff that comes with it. Not everybody can deal with it mentally. So I don't doubt that you can gain attributes and practice techniques and think about visualizing and get all this value from kata. I just think that it's just a super inefficient way to get where you're going. But if you love it and it's fun, that's what you should do.
Well, my question isn't really about kata or the value of it. My question is, how do you train and ingrain escalation of force, like the ethics of violence, basically?
You develop that over. So like when I was policing and I would have to arrest people and they would be resisting, I was always comfortable. You know, I say, you know, when they were rolling around trying to get away from me and not trying to hurt me, and their foot would flip over and hit me, I was okay with that. Whereas a guy who's untrained, if he gets hit in the face, he either spazzes out and runs away and shuts down, or flips out and like beats the guy half to death when the guy was really just trying to get away, you know? So if you're trying to subdue someone and you're trying to decide how much force, you know, maybe you've knocked him down and you're like, hey, chill out. The urge not to do that, the urge to maybe use too much or too little force against somebody comes from panic and inexperience. So getting that experience in the live rounds, it's not dude, after you've been punched in the face a bunch, here's what you should do. This is what you should do. We just solved both of your problems, right? You take your ass to a boxing class where they're sparring, do that a couple times a month and get beat the fuck up. You'll feel like a big old manly man, and every time you get around a girl, you'll be all like super, you know what I mean? And she'll be like, oh my God. She'll be like, oh my God, this guy is, oh my goodness, right? You'll have all that testosterone oozing out of you. You know what I mean? But then you'll have a black eye, and that might not be good, you know, while you're producing the kids show. I have a question for you. You can help me before I let you go.
Sure.
So you've watched some of the Hard to Hurt videos, and you've watched the podcast and listened to it and stuff?
And the Icy Bike where you talk about your business, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think I got kind of like maybe a future in entertainment? What?
More like education. Because you get people to listen and they do what you do. They do what you say.
Right. I'm so I'm very manipulative. I just use my powers for good. I want to be on TV, man. How do I get on TV?
Well, the competition shows. You're very good at assessing.
Yeah, I tried to get on. I tried to get on a reality show once, and I made it towards the end. I think I said something wrong in one of the. I don't know. I probably
not as a contestant, as a judge.
Oh yeah, I would love to host or judge one of those. I would love to do that.
Yeah,
I'd love to make be like, this is what you got to do. You got to climb up there and you got to go do this thing.
Yeah, you seem to have the approach for that type of genre.
Thank you, man. That helps me. That confirms a suspicion I had of what my calling is. Maybe not scripted stuff. Maybe not like acting, but maybe more like, you know. Well, thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
Man. All right, bye.
Love from Jesse says, oh my OMG, I would watch Seth on The Bachelor. Ryan Leesberg, you are live on the Icy Mike and Perfect podcast. What's up?
Nothing really. So,
okay, I was just saying, why'd you call if nothing really is up?
So I'm still on this Cejudo Cruz thing.
Oh my God. What about Cejudo Cruz?
So my argument is Cejudo was punching him really fast, but he wasn't punching him hard. Mm-hmm. And so
you
Cruz
said that's your argument. That's
it.
Your argument with who? Who are you arguing with?
I'm arguing for Cruz.
Because you're saying what I said, aren't you?
Basically.
Okay.
And so I don't think it should have been stopped because Cruz wasn't hurt really after taking some of those punches, he kind of recovered. He was getting back to his feet.
So who decides where the line is? Who gets to decide how many punches? I think this yellow and blue looks good. It's been rotating back there. Comment below what color combination has been best.
But the ref does choose. The ref does choose when to stop the fight. And he did his job. So
the thing is, I said it again. You're trying to Monday morning quarter. So his choices are stop it too early and get it wrong, or stop it too late and get it wrong.
Right.
And you're talking about Herb Dean. He's the best. There isn't a ref better. Now, that doesn't mean he can't have a bad stoppage. You know what I mean? But there's not a guy that can do it better. So there will be some error. But I guess if you're saying, do we call it a bad stoppage or not? It just depends how much of a requirement is that the referee knows exactly how much a punch hurts somebody.
Yeah.
Whose face he can't see. The guy's face down, taking punches and not reacting to them. Which I said, what a strategy. What a strategy it would be to like WWE punch a guy like 74 times. You know what I mean? And the ref be like, oh my God. But the guy didn't even know he was getting punched. I want to try that. If I ever get an MMA fight, I'm going to try that.
That'd be the tactic. Just get him on the ground and punch him really fast, but barely touch him.
Barely touch him. Like I'll open my fist up inside my glove.
Just like flick him. Flick him in the forehead a bunch.
But like so fast, like blinding. Somebody's going to
ref will have no choice but to stop the fight.
Yeah, he'd be like, oh my God.
He's too fast, man.
Long John in the YouTube chat says, Icy Mike, incredible at isolating the problem and keeping it real concerning possible results that will derive from correcting or not correcting the problem. It's not a superpower. I am very simple-minded. So, I have to do that for me. It just so happens to be that other people find that helpful. But I have to do that for me because I can't keep track of more shit in my head all at once. So I get what you're saying. I kind of agree that I don't think the punch, I think I'm 70-30. I'm 70% sure that those punches were not actually hurting him, and he's a veteran and he's been punched before and he wasn't worried about it. And he was just trying to think, which way do I get up? And that was what was happening. I kind of agree that that's what was happening, but I disagree that it's the ref's job to be certain of that.
Right. The ref did his job, and there's not much we can do about it now. The call's already been made.
Mm-hmm. What did you think about the Robbie Lawler Ben Askren when he did that?
I'm kind of 70-30 on that one too.
You see how these guys get put in like basically an impossible situation.
Right.
Basically impossible.
And I think the Gaethje-Ferguson fight could have been stopped earlier because there were multiple times where Ferguson was rocked.
That's a good example.
He was rocked bad.
That's a good example of what I was talking about earlier about how I think they let some guys go. First of all, there's not a lot of examples in MMA of someone being that out on their feet. You know what I mean? In boxing, that happens because of usually people don't take that many big shots in MMA and stay on their feet.
Right.
That's not like happened a lot. There's not a playbook for that. Oh, this is like when so-and-so fought so-and-so. It was like that. Like, I'm sure there is an example, but I couldn't name one.
Yeah, Ferguson was getting hit by knockout punches, like fight-ending shots multiple times in each round.
Yeah.
And it's just not good for you.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, I think it could have been stopped. There was another point where I think it could have been stopped, but I was like kind of on the fence. But when he stopped it, it had to be. Like, no one in the world wanted Tony to keep taking more punches. Like, no one.
Right.
That was just excessive. But no one did anything wrong because it's like, well, fucking fall down. Be human and fall down and we'll know that you're dead,
Just get knocked out already. Jeez.
Yeah, he didn't know that he was knocked out.
Stop being as tough as you are, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So while I agree with you on the details, I'd have to say there's no solution. What's the solution?
Right.
Sensors inside their brains, with life bars. Dude, what if they had a sensor? What if they had like sensors inside them that measured like their heart rate?
It's like a video game. You just see a health bar.
Yeah, have a health bar at the top of the screen. Like you put an accelerometer. Here's what you do. You put an accelerometer inside the base of a dude's brainstem. You put an accelerometer in there where his little trinket back there that wobbles when he gets hit. You put an accelerometer in there. You know what an accelerometer is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You sound like you know what an accelerometer is. How old are you? 19?
15.
15? I was being generous because I was hoping you were an adult calling in. You got braces? You sound like you have braces.
No, sir.
I'm back. I'm 0 for 2. Oh man. But you put an accelerometer inside his trinket in the back there in his cerebellum, and then you put like a thing, like maybe a thermometer or something in his blood, and then you put like a aerometer inside his lungs to measure his airs, and then as they're getting beat up and tired, shit, you have fucking meters on the screen. You know what I mean? Like a life bar. And it's like going down. Imagine the pressure, like when you know a dude has 1 hit point left. Like Tony has 1 hit point left, and then you see him throw the uppercut at the end of the second round, and Gaethje's health bar is like...
Just shoots all the way down. Just imagine watching Francis Ngannou fight. You just see one punch land, and the guy's just out cold.
KO! Francis Ngannou is that final boss that you have to know the exact right pattern, because he 1 hit instant kills you.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Ryan,
Sir.
I appreciate your call. I think your idea for life bars and MMA fights is genius, man.
That wasn't my idea. That was yours.
I was just going along with it. I was trying to help you out, man. You could go to you tell all your friends, hey, man, I came up with this cool idea.
Yeah.
But I got to bring on a true OG'er. I'll see you later, Ryan.
All right. Peace out, Girl Scout.
That kid's all right. Hey, comment below. What do you guys think about that idea? I don't even have to say comment. I don't even have to say tell me what you think about that idea. That idea is clearly amazing. Tenor of the year.
My man, how are you?
Fuck the OG.
Dude, that's what I wanted to talk about here. How the hell has a guy like you cultivated such a positive following over here? It's like the direct antithesis. Reading this chat is the direct opposite of what the OG podcast and the OG is. It's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm basically fucking awesome, tenor of the year. Because I'm basically amazing. That's why. No, our Podbean chat is usually, our Podbean chat started out the same, actually, tenor of the year. So I actually do have to take a little credit for that, because the whole premise of this podcast, what tenor of the year is talking about, is there's a website called mixedmartialarts.com, and on it there's an off-topic, like most online forums, there's an off-topic board, and instead of the underground, it's called the other ground. Very clever. That is actually where I began my most recent foray into an online presence. That's sort of where I was born. That's where Icy Mike was born. And they started a podcast, and it was on this Podbean app where they could bring callers on. And I said, that's fucking awesome. And I stole the idea, and I made a better podcast. And tenor of the year is a star over there on mixedmartialarts.com. But the chat didn't used to be so positive. We just got super positive with the message that we were doing on these things. I'm at a point in my life where I'm feeling very positive.
All right, yeah, because I'm reading Max Saldez is saying LOL positive following. Have you read this chat? Dude, if you go over to the other ground, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah, it's like racist, it's sexist, it's homophobic, it's like true, like
it's nonstop ball busting.
Yeah, we just cuss. Like over there, it's true negativity, like true ball busting, 100% negativity.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. So what are you doing right now? As far as obviously your gym is not open, correct?
We're open.
You're open.
Yeah, I worked my first shift there yesterday.
Very nice. And you got people coming in?
Yeah, I had 5 clients yesterday. They're ready to go, man. I actually had to like fight people off with a stick.
Oh, very nice. Are they wearing masks or what are they doing?
No. So my studio is very small. It's only 1,200 square feet, and I'm only doing one-on-one training, and all of our sanitation protocols and all of our cleaning and all of our layout and all of our equipment, they set out some guidelines. Gyms in South Carolina are not due to open until the 18th. but the Department of Commerce had a list of some types of businesses that could be exempt if they followed certain guidelines. My business was one of them. So because everything that's in their guidelines, we already did. So they were like, well, yeah, you can keep, as long as this, they said originally no more than 5 people per 1,000 square feet. Then they sent us an email that said it could only be one-on-one. Then they sent us another email retracting that email, and I wasn't really sure what to make of all of that. So I just went with one-on-one. And on Monday, they're opening up to on Monday, they're extending those guidelines to everybody. But yeah, we were actually able to open 2 weeks ago. I just chose not to because I wasn't real comfortable with the idea.
All right. So are you doing more personal training, or
yeah,
are
that's
you doing
all. That's all I'm
mitt
doing.
work, pad work, stuff like that?
No, I didn't even take my mitts and pads up there so that I wouldn't be tempted. I brought all that stuff home. I set up a circuit, and I set them up in a certain area of the gym, and then I kept track of that equipment. And when they were done, I sanitized all of it. And my next client, I set up their stuff. I staggered them. So I had a client that was doing powerlifting. Had to be a little closer to that client. But since the cool part is, since everyone's coming back, we weren't doing maximal loads. So I didn't have to spot them as closely as much. And then there's clients who were there for weight loss. I had them set up on circuits on the other side. And I sort of flip-flop so that I was able to completely sanitize everything. And I cut all the sessions short about 10, 15 minutes to make sure I could completely clean and keep track of everything.
All right. At what point do you think you're going to bring people in for groups?
Yeah, just normal, classes, sparring and partner drills and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I don't know. It feels weird. It feels super weird. It felt weird being there. It felt awesome. It was amazing. I was glad to be back. It was sort of like imagine making out with a really hot cousin. You know?
I do that all the time anyways.
Well, yeah, you want to do it and it's cool, but you kind of feel am I supposed to be doing this? It just feels I guess technically there's nothing wrong with it unless I think it's wrong, and if I don't think it's wrong, it's not wrong, but I just felt weird, or I'd be judged. It just felt weird, but it did feel good. So
yeah, it's kind of like that weird paradox of how you've been in. A lot of us. I mean, obviously, I have done similar work that you did back in the past. So I'm an essential guy. So I get to be out in the real world. But even, other than that, I'm mostly, if I'm not at work, I'm in the house. Just going out everything feels a little different. It feels like this has become the new normal. And it's going to be really, really tough once shit opens up, because it feels different. Feels abnormal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just in case in the YouTube chat says weird as fuck. Yeah, I feel the same way. It feels the first couple weeks I felt like I was in a dream. I was like, when is this gonna not happen? I felt like I was waiting for class to start. I felt like I was what I felt like? I felt like a new recruit at the academy the first day in the gym waiting on the instructors to come in, and I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? Or I felt like first day at a new job or new school or whatever. I felt like I don't. What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing.
Floor is a motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to be doing, but I do know that we're going to be doing it for a long time.
Right.
That's a terrible feeling.
Exactly. It's that anxiety kind of.
How is work for you?
It's definitely slower. But it's completely different. I mean, you think of the protocols that you would be doing, and for the audience, I'm in law enforcement. You think of you responding to a call, and nowadays it's like everything is, if I can handle it via phone, I'll handle it via phone. Whereas back in the day, you roll up on a call.
There.
You do it.
Yeah. Your bike was stolen. Where was bike? I was over there. Okay. Here's
case
number.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, and then having people meet you out back. But on the flip side of that, I still respond to fight calls or something serious. I'm not thinking of gloving up and PPE and all that shit, man. I'm an action-oriented type of guy.
Well,
and I roll up on a call like I would normally, not with precautions, which is stupid, but that's just how I am.
No. That's awesome and good, and it's the way you should do it. I bet nobody can come up with why I think that. I bet no one really. No, someone probably was. It's not that complicated. You probably already know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is you should not be filtering every single call response through the haze of what do I do because of coronavirus? Oh, it's good coronavirus. I don't want you doing that, dude. I want you fucking in the game like you know how to be. Because
it's just reaction. Yep.
You're young and strong and healthy, and no amount of PPE or protection. Like if you're gonna get sick, you're gonna get sick. You know what I mean? You're about to have a knockdown, drag out fight, and you think your little fucking N95 mask over your face is gonna like keep his fucking that fucking gross drunkard, piss flavored breath out of your nostrils. You know what I mean? If he's got it, you're getting it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I want you on the hot call in the game. And what we're learning, and this is in every industry, we're learning that a lot of shit we just didn't need to do. You didn't need to fucking send a car over there every time little Cindy's bike got stolen or old Jethro's tools got stolen. Like your shit's gone. We don't know where it is. Do you know where it is? If you know where it is, I'll go look for it. But if you know where it is, fucking let's move on with our lives. People are figuring out they can work from home. People are figuring out you can take calls over the phone. People are figuring out you can connect with people online, So we're figuring out shit we don't need to do. But when you go on those calls, fuck the coronavirus, man. Dude, that bullet.
Yeah.
The coronavirus will make you sick for a couple weeks. That bullet will kill you dead for longer than that.
Yep, exactly. And that's, hindsight is 2020 and Monday morning quarterbacking and all that bullshit. But you think about it, it's like, this is what I do. I react. Something's going on. I react, and I react the best way I know how. And stopping to think about a fucking, like you said, an N95 or some gloves or something. I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking about what I need to do to keep that scene safe. And that's what I do,
That's what you're supposed to do.
The sergeants and other people might think differently after the fact, but bottom line is I can articulate why I did what I did.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're trained to do.
Dude, when you're a cop, people think, oh, the cops can't do that. Let me tell you something. Cops can do whatever they want as long as they can explain why they did it, and a reasonable person will go, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's the only rule.
Right.
That's literally because people say, well, the cops can't do this and the cops can't do that. And they get that impression because in a certain instance, like I remember I had a terrible knockdown, drag out fight with a guy. I punched him in the face. And this actually happened more than once at the first agency I worked at. When I would punch a dude in the face, he would stop fighting with me to argue that I was not allowed to punch him in the face.
You can't do that.
Right. He said, you can't punch me. I had one guy straight up tell me, you ain't supposed to punch me. You're supposed to try and like wrestle me. I was like, and I'm arguing with him. I'm like, no, dude, you're trying to wrestle with me. So you're wrestling me. I'm going to strike you.
So I've got to escalate the force a little bit. I need to one up you.
I got to go one up, and striking is better than grappling, bitch. So that's why I'm doing it.
Oh, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I get it. All right, brother. Well, that was, I just wanted to call in and give you kudos on such a positive thing you got going on here, man.
Isn't it amazing, man?
It's really cool.
Tenor of the Years know me a long time, and he actually knows me. I'm a shithead, obviously, still, but I used to be a much bigger shithead. I had not quite found my way. I found out exactly like who I was going to become or what I was trying to do. So, dude, it's very powerful and meaningful that this guy. Now, Tenor of the Year is my friend, but I've never met him. Like we just know each other online. To have him be that perceptive, it's just like amazing. It like makes me feel like, fuck, man, people are paying attention to what I'm doing, and that's super meaningful. And I really appreciate you.
All right, without a doubt, brother. All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, later.
All right, peace.
Wow. William Cornell says Mike wasn't in his final form. This is the IC Mike Imperfect podcast. If you want to be a caller, we're going to take a couple more. Mask on. Fuck it, mask off. Great. Ex-cops over corrupt and experienced cops. Experienced cops over corrupt and experienced cops all day. Inexperienced cops are not usually corrupt. That's usually two different groups. They're both problems, but they don't go together. Ooh. I got to pick. I got the lines are lighting up. Let me bring in William Cornell, because I don't think I've ever talked with William Cornell, even though William Cornell has been a friend of the channel for a long time. William, how are you?
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good. I don't think you and I have ever talked. Will you sit still? The messages, the instructions explicitly told you to sit still.
I am sitting still.
No, you were thumping around. I heard what you did. Everyone thinks that I can't hear. I can hear what you're doing.
I was putting the phone down so I wouldn't jiggle with it.
Get closer to it. Get closer to it.
Get closer to it? Okay.
Yeah, put your mouth put your mouth right up against the microphone. You're coming in cold.
Can I lick it?
Don't. Yeah, it's yours, so you can lick it. So how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, and I appreciate you so much. William Cornell wears long sleeve T-shirts, and so he hit me up and said, "Hey, how about some long sleeve T-shirts?" And I was like, "Fucking long sleeve T-shirts? What are you gonna?" That's like, I bet he even tucks them in. A long sleeve T-shirt tucked in is the most un-T-shirt like thing that could be. But he wears long sleeve T-shirts, and he said, "Make a long sleeve T-shirt," which was admittedly super easy. I just like took the thing and dragged it over and was like, long sleeve T-shirt. And he got one. So you can go, if you go to the Teespring store and you see a shirt, it's called the Cornell, named after my friend William.
I have a complaint though. After one wash in the washing machine, the thing's got a hole in it. So I'm walking around with this T-shirt on that says "Hard to Hurt" with a hole in it. My kids are all making fun of me.
Dude, you were like guaranteeing I never sell another shirt. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, I will tell you this. Teespring, so the thing we use is called Teespring, and it's not the greatest solution, but it's the best solution for someone like me where I can't necessarily afford to spend $10,000 to print up a bunch of shirts and be shipping and stuff. Like, they take care of all that. The downside is they're not like super invested in every shirt. You know what I mean? So, but then the other upside is every time that I've ever heard of anything happening, you just message them and they just send you another one. Like, it's not even any, you send them a picture of the shirt and be like, "Yo, this shirt has a hole in it," and they just send you another one. Like, right away.
Yeah, no, I think it adds character to the shirt because I like that kind of stuff.
So you just wanted to come on and make sure that no one else buys that shirt. So I appreciate you.
I mean, I want to, yeah. I mean, I
appreciate you greatly.
Name the shirt after me. I feel like I have to represent that. Yeah, I need a superior product for my name.
Doss says hopefully he doesn't start making condoms.
You should make neck gaiters, man. You're missing out. Everybody's walking around in Costco with a mask on. You should have Hard to Hurt neck gaiters. So you
neck gaiters.
Wear that when I go shopping.
Mark Joseph says, try Printful. They have good quality control. I'll look into it. Integrating with YouTube is super important. Integrating with YouTube is like vital. I sell so few of them anyway, because admittedly, I don't like push them. You know what I mean? I don't like hard sell the shirts, which this shirt right here, this is the only shirt I ever tried to hard sell, was this. I don't know. Which way do I go? This way. Was this USA in this hoe? You know what I mean? After the infamous words by Derek Lewis. USA in this hoe.
Is that with the E or without the E?
Mine is without the E. I did mine without the E because that's how I spell hoe. I know most people spell hoe with an E, so I made one with an E. And also because it's a play on the G.I. Joe logo that has an E at the end, so I made it match up that. I made this one specifically so that I could have it because I don't think then the E goes at the end for a hoe like that. But this shirt lasted a long time. This shirt was great. This shirt is great, and it's actually on sale. It's way cheaper than the other shirts. You can get one at teespring.com/stores/IC. Hard to Hurt merch. That's what it is. Link is in the description below.
But you never push that stuff, though. I mean, yeah.
Dude, because I think here's why, and it's not entirely. There's two reasons. I'll give you the selfless reason and the selfish reason. The selfless reason is because I think that's lame. I think that's whack when YouTubers are like constantly cramming their shitty merch down your throat. You know, I think that's lame. Mm-hmm. It's clearly what can I get out of you? That's me trying to extract value from you, which is not how this relationship is supposed to work. The selfish reason is I don't hard sell anything so that when I do say, hey, you should get one of these, people are like, oh yeah, totally. I'll totally get one of those. You know what I mean? So the t-shirts, I know, because
That's why I've got 5 Olight flashlights now.
Right, because you know that I wouldn't be like, yo, this was cool. I wouldn't just do that. You know what I mean? I don't just say fucking everything is cool. I say, which is funny because the Stinger Tactical Whip, which was the fucking craziest thing that ever happened to the channel, I straight up said in the video, I probably wouldn't use this for self-defense. And they sold thousands of them. Thousands.
I'm one of the thousands. I have one.
You have one? What color is it?
Yeah. I just got the black. I didn't want to go fancy.
This thing right here. I'm going to show it on the YouTube live, which I'm sure everyone knows what it is, but it's this thing right here. This thing is going to end up putting Maddox through college. That thing. The Stinger Tactical Whip is the only reason my house and business survived the coronavirus. Damn sure wasn't the t-shirt sales. I know that. Well, I appreciate you, William. I appreciate you more than you know.
Yeah.
And I hope that you were
really
able to
appreciate
extract
you,
as much
Mike.
value from me as I've been able to extract from you.
I get a ton of value out of all the stuff you're putting out. I've been doing the workout routines with my kids. I got 7 kids. I got the 4 oldest are the ones I'm working with a lot.
How old are your kids?
We've done. Let's see. My oldest is 14. I go girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, girl, girl.
Wait, how many kids do you have?
My oldest is 7.
Dude, you've heard all the jokes, but like, dude, are you
It's the most fun. It is absolutely the most fun I've ever had. It's awesome. It's kind of like being the sheriff of your own private little town.
Yeah, dude, you have a kingdom that you are like in control of.
Yeah, it is. It's and when you really embrace it and just take it on, and it's just awesome.
I could see that if I didn't have to. Like, there's a point of diminishing impact. Like, the third one didn't hit us as hard as the second one, didn't hit us as hard as the first one. So I imagine that each one, it's like it doesn't even fucking matter anymore. There's so many kids around.
It is.
What's one more? Doesn't matter. That's just one more person to do chores.
When you learn that you have to ditch man to man to go to zone defense, it's easy after that.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. You're just managing. You're just doing the best you can. It doesn't, it's not so crucial. And then if you
and you get a lot of return because the older ones actually start helping out with the younger ones. And
yeah,
then you're like,
dude,
this is like a perpetual energy machine here.
I only have to deal with poop. If it's not poop, in her underwear, I don't have to do anything. Maddox can feed her. He can get her a cup. He can do, you know what I mean? Sensei Seth in the live chat says Maddox is going to get a full ride anyway. He's not worried about me. When I said that, I was going to put him through college with YouTube. Yeah, he probably will. He's a talented kid. Well, William, I appreciate you so much, man. And I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you for all the stuff you do. Keep going.
Thank you, man. Wow. Tonight was great. 7 kids. He really did get his condoms from Mike. CatchJitsu.com. Doom Donuts. Your mom's lame sauce, but I still made your dumb ass. Dan the Wolfman is here, and he is straight roasting fools. I was hoping you would show up, Dan. I'm glad you're here. For those of you that don't know, I'm talking about Dan the Wolfman. Now, Dan the Wolfman could best be described. How should we describe him? Dan, are you able to use the Podbean app to call in? I would love to talk with you tonight. If we can't talk tonight, we should set up a time to talk. I want to help Dan. Dan needs help. Let's see. Dan the Wolfman. Dan the Wolfman. He's Dan the Wolfman Theodore. He is a professional fighter. Hi, Mike. He says, hi, Mike. I just got on. What was said about me? Nothing. You haven't come up. At the beginning, they asked me about recently Dan the Wolfman from CatchJitsu.com. I'm going to pop that link in the description. Give me just 1 second. I might get a little distracted while I do this. I'm a one-man show. But Dan the Wolfman is a professional fighter, actor, stuntman. He did the motion, to kind of put in perspective, you can often see him playing like a henchman, like that kind of role. He also did motion capture for one of the robots in Real Steel. He is a kind of jack of all trades with his martial arts. He does a little bit of Aikido.
Thank you for checking out my video.
Oh, man.
Go to thecombatsystem.com.
Let's bring him up. Dan, do you mind if we bring up some of your stuff? I want to bring up some of Dan's stuff, but I want to make sure that it's okay with him. But I am going to put a link to his channel in the description box because we're probably going to spend the rest of this time talking about that, because I do want to address, not specifically Dan, but I do want to address the call-out culture. $1.99 for help, Dan. Let me see. Dan the Wolfman, call into Mike. Hey, Mike, Lunar has a question, buddy. Hold on 1 second. We got there's a big fish on the line. Catchjitsu.com. There's a link down in the description below where you can get the Podbean app. If you can't get to it tonight, it's okay. We could set up another time. Ibrahim Khalil says, Icy Mike, tell Wolfman how to call in on the app. He's old school. Just click that link. There's an app. You call in, you need headphones. But let's take a caller. You guys can help. You guys in the YouTube chat can help Dan. Let me call in Lunar. Oh, wait. Let me see. He disconnected. Let me try to get Lunar here. Someone said that Lunar had a question. Lunar would like to call in. Lunar, you are live.
Hey, man. What's up?
How are you?
It's good. I just found your channel like a couple days ago, actually.
And you've binge watched everything, right?
I actually did. I'm not gonna lie. I watched like the first 20 videos. Like I went through and like found the ones that were applicable to me. You know.
Oh, okay. Which is what? What would that be?
I'm trying to learn boxing. I have a basis in Taekwondo, but me and my friend have just been beating the shit out of each other for the past like 10 days.
That's productive.
Which I know. I actually gave him a black eye today. I know. We're learning.
That's not how you learn.
But my question is, I know. That's the problem. It's like we have no trainer. It's only me and him. Mm-hmm. We don't even have equipment. Like, what do we do? Like, I've been watching your videos. I've been trying to do some of the things. I've been watching other YouTube channels. But I'm kind of stuck in a rut, you know?
So to be completely honest, and this is sort of, this sort of shoots me in the foot. So when I say this, you know that it's real because it actually is contradictory to what you would think I should say strategically.
Yeah.
You can't learn much from YouTube from scratch.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't learn from YouTube, and I'm not saying you can't learn YouTube from scratch. You can't learn much from YouTube from scratch. All right?
Yeah, no, I get that.
YouTube is best used, particularly my channel. People are going to laugh, especially the haters, you fucking haters lurking. Let me see. We got 65 viewers. I know at least like 10 of y'all are fucking haters. The haters lurking. I know they're going to laugh when I say this because they don't think there's intentional design behind what I'm doing. Because besides you guys that do the lives, you kind of know more about really the process, like really who I am and what I'm about. But the YouTube videos are intentionally designed to do a couple things. One is to whip people into a frenzy so they keep watching so it spreads the video to more people.
Yeah.
Two, it's to connect specifically with a guy like you who maybe is training somewhere but maybe isn't getting the most value out of it because maybe his trainer, because I see this a lot, this is exactly who I'm talking to. You train with a guy who's an amazing martial artist, amazing trainer, you like him, everything's good, but maybe he's not the best at explaining shit, you know? So
you do explain stuff like really well. I
appreciate it. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really hard because we're out in the sticks, you know.
So I understand right now you're not going to be able to find training.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances, is there any training to be found?
An hour away.
Worth
an hour
it.
Away. That's all.
Worth it if you're serious.
Yes.
Okay.
Just cost a lot, you know. It's like $150 to join the gym a month.
How old are you?
Like that. 21.
Then why the fuck do you have $115 a month?
Wait, what?
you said it's $115 a month, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm in college. That's like half of it. So.
Okay, so that maybe is time
Get a
you
job.
need to be
I know.
studying.
I'm a bitch. I know.
I guarantee you're spending $100 a month on dumb shit.
I am. That's true.
Fucking $6 coffees and $10 lunches with your goofy friend with the black eye. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm gonna have him listen to this and he's gonna laugh.
Yeah. So instead of
he sounds like the bitch in the situation.
How about, well, no, you didn't fucking give him a black eye because you're so good. You know, you gave him a black eye because y'all don't know what the fuck you're doing.
He actually, like, it was.
He ran into it, I'm sure. You know?
He did.
Yeah, y'all don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's not like how I gave him a black eye. You weren't supposed to give him a black eye. That reflects on you, not him.
I agree.
So. I guarantee after you guys are done beating the shit out of each other, trying to fucking copy shit you saw on the internet, that you guys fucking get in your let me guess. Lifted trucks. Oh my God. So
no, that's not me. That's not me. But that's him.
Yeah, you spent all your daddy's money on your fucking truck kit.
I wish I got money.
You know, and you drive up somewhere and pay like $12 for some shitty food. Instead of doing that, if you really want to be a real tough guy and you want to really learn how to fight and you want to get in shape and you want to be fit and you want to be strong and you want to be capable and you want to be confident and competent and get all the benefits that come with being a martial artist, you can find $115 a month in your discretionary idiot fund. You know?
Okay. All right.
Cut out the coffees, fucking eat some peanut butter and jelly, get some lunch meat, eat some hot dogs, fucking, you know, buy it. Do you know how to buy a pack of chicken at the grocery store and cook it?
I do.
Fucking do that.
I eat right, you know, because I'm a powerlifter.
Okay. So then where's your money going?
Yeah,
Mr. Powerlifter.
I just got back from. Okay, hold up. I just got back from college. I'm finding a job right now.
I didn't ask. Where is your money going? You are spending money every month. What are you spending it on? Food, and what?
I spent $10. Well, I just bought gloves. That's about it.
Boxing gloves. All right, yeah. You needed those. What kind of gloves did you get?
$25 title. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll do. It was smart of you to buy shitty gloves now, and then earn your $100 gloves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's smart. Yeah. So you're spending your money on girls too? Well, not now. You're not.
I'm trying. I mean,
yeah, no, don't do that. See, idiot. God damn. You're 21, man.
I agree.
21. Do you know that there's, so here's what's cool is you have an opportunity here. When I was in my early 20s, I was super rare. You want to know, people ask me, Icy Mike, what's the key to your success? Just kidding. No one asked me that. But one of the things that I did early on is when I was a younger guy and I met older guys that kind of like were about the life that I wanted, you know?
Yeah.
I never needed to learn from my own mistakes. You know, I just did what they did. I knew a millionaire with a hot wife who owned his own business. And I was like, so, you know, what are you doing? And
yeah.
And he was like, well, I do things this way. And I was like, okay, I'll just do them that way. Meanwhile, my version of your friend with the black eye, we worked together at the same place, and he was like, man, fuck that guy. And this was his uncle. He'd be like, fuck that guy. I'm not going to do it. He don't know what he's talking about, man. I think that this should go over here. I'm like, dude, his name is on the building.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing I learned from, like, I worked for a millionaire for construction.
There you go.
And the biggest thing I learned from him is he just did everything. He just earned it. Like,
yeah,
he went and did it. That's the difference between, I think, him and everyone else is just, you just got to work for it. And like, he didn't want any shortcuts. Yeah.
Because they're not real. They don't exist.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, easy come, easy go sort of thing. So you can find money. You need to work. Well, you need to, what are you in school for?
Computer science.
God damn, it's nerd city up in here tonight.
I mean, kind of. I like video games.
Nerd on top of nerd on top of nerd.
Jeez, man.
Geeks on geeks. So the answer to your question, I think your question was like, what should we be doing while we're the answer?
I mean, that's really the big part of it.
So you're probably,
what should we do?
If you're having fun, like have fun. I don't care. I'm not going to say, oh, you're learning bad habits and you're not going to be the best fighter you could be if you practice that shitty jab with your idiot buddy. You know, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that the thing you know how to do, you know how to lift, you know how to be in shape. I would focus all my time right now, if I didn't have a competent coach, access to like real coaching, I would throw myself, and actually that's what I'm theoretically doing right now. I would throw myself into getting into the shape of my life. I would turn myself into a living fucking weapon. That way, when I get to that martial arts class, I'm not gassing out. I'm not getting tired. I can get the most out of it, especially because you got to pay a lot and you got to travel. So you won't get to go a lot.
Yeah.
So you're going to need to go. And if they have 2 or 3 classes that day, you're going to need to stay out there and do all of them and be in just amazing shape. You know how to eat. You know how to lift. Take this time, turn yourself into like fucking Greek god status, you know? And that way when you get out there, that's one box checked. You know, you're going to just get beat up because you suck, not get beat up because you're out of breath or you're weak.
Yeah, it's my biggest flaw is my cardio. I could probably run 6 blocks and then die. I haven't run a full mile.
I don't run.
Which is crazy because
I don't run. I can spar all day long. I can spar all day long. I do not run. Now, when I fight, I get super tired because of the nerves. But as far as like my actual conditioning that's not related to my mental status is very good.
This is a weird thing. Have you ever thought of like sniffing ammonia before a fight?
No, man. I've never thought of that.
No, I swear to you, it gives you the best feeling ever, and there's no medical downsides. You can look it up yourself.
I mean, I know that they sniff stuff like for lifting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ammonia. It's just straight ammonia.
That can't be. That's got to be brain cells.
No,
man.
I swear to you, it's like
listen.
Yeah, if you're inhaling it 24/7.
I'm gonna tell you a fact. Here's a fucking Icy Mike fact number 452.
Spit it.
If it's not bad for you, it doesn't work. And if it works, it's bad for you. That's the truth with fucking drugs, with pre-workouts,
You're probably
and whatever.
Right of it.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's
after this podcast, I mean, I would look it up. That's just me. I think it's a good thing for anyone that
would look it up. I will not.
Damn it. All right. I tried.
All right. I appreciate you so much, man. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for answering. You know, I'm glad to be a part of the channel now.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're a part of the channel, man. Thank you. I hope we hear from you again soon.
Thank you. All right.
Did we get through to Dan? Did we get through to him? Michael Johnson. Kind of sounds like this isn't even a hobby, like he just wants to be good instead of get good. Spicy Mike fact. Yeah, all the nerds. Man, oh man, we're having a good time tonight. I hope we figured out. Let me scroll back up and see if I can't find Dan the Wolfman. Dan the Wolfman's a special, special dude. I lost him in the chat. Is he still around? Dan the Wolfman. Let's bring on Sensei Seth. Justin, if you want to call in, you can. We're going to bring on Sensei Seth, and we're going to bring on Justin. Justin has some questions about sparring partners.
Yeah, so I'm in a bit of a weird spot right now. So I'm kind of like
in between like a giant bee and like some poop.
Not quite that side of things.
That'd be a weird spot to be in.
That I'm the giant guy. So I fall into the heavyweight category, and most of the people that I have available for sparring do not really come close to that weight range. And I find myself afraid to kind of hurt my sparring partners a lot, especially in regards to like standing wrestling.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like takedowns and stuff.
But so my issue with that is like they're going basically full send against me, which I'm fine with because I don't feel that worried about getting hurt.
Right.
But I feel worried about accidentally hurting them if I start accelerating and matching their intensity in order to grab them and not just having them, twist out and spin out real quick,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how I can approach that in a way that'll let me actually get competent wrestling skills down.
Well, Sensei Seth is a big lard ass. Sensei Seth, you want to take this question?
Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate that. That's quite the intro. But I don't know. I don't really think I fight like a big guy. I mean, like
No. But you've been the bigger person in many.
Yeah. Usually I am, and what I try and do is like the round starts off with me like keeping them in my big guy range and doing my big guy things. But what I try and do is and eventually fight like somebody who doesn't get the benefit of being a big guy, you know, trying to like take away certain things mindset wise that I could do because I'm bigger, because it'll make you do other things that the smaller people are also trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I personally definitely feel like I try to do that. Like I've been working a lot on my footwork because I'm like, you know, obviously I'm probably never going to be quite as agile as the little guys, considering I'm like 230 pounds.
Bro, me too. Hold on. That's not true. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a lot faster than I think the average big guy because I train parkour as well, so I've got very strong legs and good grippy toes.
Nice.
He's got them good grippy toes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know,
Justin got them good grippy toes. He thick, boy. He a thick ass boy.
If your toes ain't gripping the mat, you can't move.
That's true.
So I'm trying to put myself in more situations. I usually use a very like kick heavy style where like hands are for defense and spacing, and then I bring the power kicks to kind of solve the rest of my problems. But I'm trying to get more into doing more boxing and doing more of that wrestling rather than just, you know, stuffing their wrestling, so that I have more in my arsenal.
That's fair. That's kind of a hard one because I have the same issue where like I don't want to, because I find myself wrestling people and doing better than I would if we were the same size, because obviously I'm bigger than people are. Right?
Yeah, and that's. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. And the answer is I don't have a great answer, to be totally honest.
Seth, dude.
What do you want me to say? It's one of those things.
Make
where,
some
like,
shit up. That's what I do.
Work hard to. Okay, all right. Here's the thing. Here's the way I fight my children's students. I get on my knees.
That's actually, I was thinking, like, how do you fight kids? You know?
Yeah, right. When I fight kids, it's the same thing that I talked about before. I work on different things. Like I work on head movement instead of like mowing them down.
Yeah, like pick one specific thing and kind of handicap yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
And then like leave the really technique-based stuff, like the wrestling stuff, the takedowns, everything like that, for the bigger guys. Now, mind you, I also like. You got to keep in mind that if you're the average biggest dude in the gym, then you'll probably be the average biggest dude other places too. So like still work on that stuff. Don't be like, I'm not going to take down anybody because that's not fair. Like you're going to have that advantage somewhere else too, most likely.
So use that, just play to your advantages in this regards.
Yeah.
To a degree, right? Like don't completely throw tech out the window because, you know, obviously you still need it, but just kind of accept the fact that you do have the size advantage and the power advantage and play with it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay.
That's interesting. And I can't relate to like being too big. I mean, but fighting with your kids, like sparring your kids, is like a good parallel to that. You know, you got to just
like sparring Mike is just like sparring some of my kid students. It's
y'all seen the video? It's on video. It's on video, Seth. You can't fucking come on. It's on video, man. They know what time it is. They know about this little kid. I got an old man face on a little kid body. So that means there's old man brains in here and craft and wildness.
Craft.
Yeah. So one thing that might be a culprit too, because I hear a little bit of this and I might be wrong. We all have one. We all have a little bit of ego. So one thing that I was talking about earlier when I was talking on the Instagram live with Glenn, being a small guy, sometimes when I'm going with a big guy and I am like maybe about to get over on him, get a position on him, or maybe doing a little too well, I don't want his brain to short circuit. Sometimes the bigger guy, when a smaller guy has success against a bigger guy, his brain like this doesn't compute, this doesn't compute, this doesn't compute, and they'll fucking flip out. So there's a piece of you, even if, and I'm not saying you're an egomaniac, but there's an ego in all of us. There's a part of you that is battling the idea that this tiny person can do anything to you.
Of just destroy and destroy.
Right. So you have to separate. You have to make sure that you're killing that thing, that little part of you. You have to kill that thing so that you can learn and be productive with your, because this is your time too. You're not just a punching bag for every little like soccer mom and Icy Mike in there that just wants to beat up on the big guy. And you have to get something out of that training. So the idea that maybe you practice just one specific thing, like just your head movement or just your jab or just this, and even if that means that you take some hits and some other stuff happens to you, that's Seth. That's what you said, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. So try to isolate like individual things and just focus on that. Okay, but yeah, thankfully, as far as the big guy ego, I like to think I'm a pretty humble guy, and I'm sure my instructor had plenty to do with that, because God, trying to spar with him is devastating how fast he is. But he moved away a couple of years back, so I don't have him anymore. But he was a smaller guy too. But my God, that guy could move, and you couldn't even hit him at all, just as much as you tried.
One other thing that I like to try and do regarding sparring is when I'm sparring somebody who's smaller and like more movement based, is I try and just do what they're doing. Like I try and beat them at their own game of being like a gnat, if you will. And kind of like coming in and out and trying to outdo them at whatever they're trying to outdo me at.
Yeah, I was wondering, one of the things that I was looking about that, because I've one of my buddies has really good like hit and run tactics. Mm-hmm. He's an instructor himself, so he's very quick. But I was thinking recently about whether or not I should try to like counter him as he comes in, and try to use my reach there a little bit to see if I can learn to play with that for the people who just want to do the hit and run type stuff. So that might be something to focus on.
Well, I mean, if he's consistently giving you problems, then you should come up with like a productive way to counter it for sure, rather than just being like, okay, I'm going to beat you by doing your own thing, because that doesn't always work. But
I mean, what I kind of ended up doing the last time we sparred is he would step in and then step out, and then I would step in, but he would already be too far out, so I would just kind of step in twice and be right on top of him. Yep. And that seemed to do pretty good.
Yep. There's a couple different ways you can do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Well, that'll do it for tonight. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get Dan the Wolfman in here. Dan the Wolfman recently made a... Thank you so much, Justin. Hope we were helpful.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Appreciate you, buddy.
We weren't able to get Dan in. He was having trouble joining the live chat in the Podbean app. Now, when I go to icymike.podbean.com, it doesn't have the live listed at the top. So that's probably what he's looking at. I don't know whether that's because we're so deep into it. Maybe it wouldn't. That doesn't make any sense.
No,
there's got to be some. But what happened is Dan the Wolfman made a video calling me out. Not necessarily. I don't think he was calling me out to a fight, but just sort of calling me out like in the old school. Because Dan's old school. I don't know anyone more old school than Dan the Wolfman Theodore. That dude is like. That dude is not UFC 1 old school. That dude is UFC -1 old school.
Are you talking about this most recent video? That was like 2 days ago?
Well, he's done it a couple. He's talked about me a couple times.
I was gonna
say
because
I've talked about him. I mentioned him in videos like as a gag, mostly as an in gag to people who've been around in martial arts YouTube for a long time. They'll know who he is.
Right.
He used to be.
In this most recent one, he called out both of us. He said he'd fight us both together. he called me a quote unquote sensei. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Seth. Here's something you need to know. 99 times out of 100, the person talking this crazy reckless shit would be like a fucking joke, right? You'd be like, right. This guy's that 1 out of 100. Like, hey, Seth, I'm not saying me and you together couldn't beat him. I'm just saying we would fucking know he was there. Like, he knows how to fight. He does know how to fight. I'm gonna say a bunch of wild ass shit about him, but I will never say that he doesn't know how to fight. I wouldn't fight him. I would not fight him.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my own personal opinion by now, but I'd love to hear what you have to say, because you probably know more of him than I do.
I mean, I know. Yeah, I don't know him. I know of him. He's very old school OG.
Him, right.
On the Podbean app, I'm trying to make sure that we're able to get to the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. Yeah. So I think he might be looking on a website and not through the app, because on the website it's just got our latest, upload. But on the app, if you go on the app and it looks like this, right? You've got that live one at top, right? And that's not available on the website. That shows up pretty good. Cool. So I think that's probably where he's at. But what we'll do is we'll make sure that we get him in here. We get you in here. I'm going to come up probably for him with some sort of video solution, like maybe something I did with Joe. But Dan, the Wolfman Theodore, is a, personality. He's done some things. Let's bring him up. I'm sure he won't mind. I put a link to his channel in the description. He's also selling some courses. Like, he sells courses. Let me see which.
Now, is this guy like I listened to his most recent video. Is he a very serious person, or is he like a very flat? When I say flat, like sense of like a not stale sense of humor, but
like a dry sense of humor.
It's there. Dry. Thank you. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word.
I think he's just been hitting the head a lot.
I see.
I think he has a great sense of humor, but I also think he's kind of serious. This is what happened.
Yeah.
So Dan the Wolfman, this is him here, and his recent videos. You look, so this is why I don't fuck with Dan. You know what I mean? This is why I don't fuck with Dan. You can't see.
I can't see it on the.
Well, he's got a lot of gun related content, and he knows how to fight. So I don't fucking say anything too reckless about him.
Right.
But he's a good guy. I know exactly what's going on with Dan. I don't want to talk too much about him when he's not able to come on and defend himself.
Sure.
But the cat has been around in the game for a long time. He's been in movies. He's trained with top dudes, which he loves to name drop all the dudes he's trained with. But he really did. Yeah, so he loves to name drop the dudes he's trained with. But in 99 times out of 100, just as we were talking earlier about you could say you trained with anybody. You know what I mean?
Sure, right. Yeah.
99 times out of 100, that person would be full of shit. Dan the Wolfman Theodore is the one time out of 100. He really did train with all those guys. He really did do all this stuff. He really was in movies. He really is a catch wrestling expert and a martial arts expert, and a student of the game. He really is all the things that the average internet troll claims to be. He's like the realest troll ever on YouTube. Like he's legit. He's legit. He's actually the example of what Icy Mike with the whole Hard to Hurt thing was originally going to be. I was just going to troll and just talk shit and just call people out and just do all this stuff. But like actually then go show up. This dude would show up and fight you. And it would be a hard fight.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of weird. He does weird. I know you can't see, but what I'm showing these old videos of him, all like under 1,000 views. Him practicing with some kids he teaches and showing some techniques. And there's nothing wrong with any of the techniques. He's a little awkward and he's not like the most like beautiful movement type of martial artist. But what's interesting is he gets into rooms, what I'm showing now, and we're getting into it. This is what's crazy. Here's what's wrong with him. This is what's wrong with you, Dan. We're going to sum it up for Dan right now. And I'd love to talk more about it in depth when we can bring it on. I'm not saying anything. I'm just showing the people who might not know about Dan the Wolfman. This is the rub. What I'm showing right now is a section of his channel. He interviewed Tony Ferguson. He interviewed John Morega. He interviewed Travis Brown. He interviewed Stitch. He interviewed Randy Couture. He interviewed, let's see, Ronda. He interviewed Ronda Rousey at some point. Yeah, interviewed Ronda Rousey. Interviewed Rashad Evans. Interviewed King Mo. Go to his channel right now. You have to scroll way down because he's got into some weird shit lately. But if you go to his channel, everyone go to his channel. Make sure you're subscribed and all that because it's just interesting if you're into this YouTube stuff. And just a guess, and the only reason I'm getting into it now is we're super late in the live stream. So I assume that anyone that's still around, if anyone that's still around would be into this. I'm just assuming. If you're not, we'll wrap up soon. But I'm assuming if you're still around that you're into this guy or you would be into this guy. He's an interesting case study. So the point I'm making, You heard all the names that I named. You knew almost all of them,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
His interview with Tony Ferguson has 428 views. His interview with Ronda Rousey has 164 views. His interview with Rashad Evans has 109 views. His interview with Anthony Rumble Johnson, talking about his injury and his future, has 47 views. He interviewed Carla Esparza. He interviewed Phil Baroni, Alexander Shlemenko, Eric Paulson, Kat Zingano, Cub Swanson, Gene LaBelle, Dana White. Here he is talking to Dana White with 40 views, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is a guy like this, with his resume, his experience, and obviously his access. Dude, could you imagine if you put could you imagine if you put me in a room with Dana White, right? And I got to do a video with Dana White, 6-minute video with him talking to Dana White.
Kill it. Right.
100,000 views, 200,000 views first day, right?
Oh yeah, easily. Right.
Dude, I can make a video. I can make a video in my garage in 10 minutes with my 11-year-old son, and that video do 300,000 views. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not bragging. Yeah. We're late in the game.
Yeah, totally.
We're late in the game. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I can see why Dan would feel compelled or drawn to, or I can see the angle where someone like that would look at someone like me and have a problem.
Sure. And what I'm curious about is those numbers compared to his sub count. What do you think that's about? I mean, like, how long has he been around?
A long time. So he's got sort of that same thing, like, because Quan Kicker's in the same boat. You know, Quan Kicker, if you look him up, had like 300,000 subs. But if he releases a video, it's not going to perform because a lot of those subs are dead. Sure. You know, they're accounts that are not currently being monitored. People logged out of that and never logged back in, and it hasn't been cleaned out by YouTube yet. And YouTube does not go based solely off of your subscriber count. Like, it doesn't automatically, just because someone subscribed to you, hey, YouTubers, if you're a YouTuber, let me know. Any YouTubers that want some YouTube tips, let me know. Catchjitsu.com says those videos were up on his original channel and it got shut down. So what likely happened is he had some issue. I guess he got shut down. I don't know how far he spaced these out, but maybe he came to a new channel and he re-uploaded a bunch of stuff, and the algorithm didn't show him any love. But he's just an interesting guy. His subs might be dead, they might be old, but the YouTube machine doesn't decide that just because you subbed, they're going to feed you his videos. Yeah, you know, it's going to go based off of your behavior. You know why? It's actually smarter than you are. It knows better because how do you figure out a person? Do you watch what they do or do you watch what they say?
Sure.
You know, what you do, how long you sit and watch a video is what you do. That's why my views don't come from subscribers, because people fucking be like, I hate this motherfucker. I'm not subscribing to his channel. Fuck this guy. As they binge watch 20 videos, and I wake up in the morning and they've commented on every single one of them.
Yeah, right.
You know? But they watch maybe, man, this guy's interviewing Gilbert Melendez. He interviewed, Sugar Shane Mosley, King Mo again. Tito Ortiz he talked to. He talked to Misha Tate. Guys, go on his channel right now. Herschel Walker. He talked to Herschel Walker.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had Tito Ortiz one time. The closest I've gotten to Tito Ortiz is one time he commented on one of my tutorials and literally just said, "Your kick sucks," and then that was it.
That's very.
I've never heard from him again.
Hey, what do you do when like in real life? And he interviewed Frank Shamrock here. You know, what do you do in real life? Like in real life, if someone's like, "Your kick sucks," like if I'm like, "Seth, your kicks suck," you'd be like, "All right, bitch, let's go," and you fucking kick me, right? But like if Tito Ortiz was like, "Mike, your dirty boxing is trash," I'd just be like, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir." You know?
Yeah, if it was in real life, I'd probably just laugh and pretend like he meant it as a joke, at least to like myself, and be like, "Man, you're crazy." And he's like, "No, I mean it," and I'd be like, "Wow, you're so good at that."
It sucks. It sucks. You know, I know people like I've had bad experiences at gyms with people who like can beat me. Like I don't have bad experiences at the grocery store because I feel confident. I feel like I carry myself like I'm not worried about anyone at the grocery store. But at an MMA gym where you don't get along with everybody and you have a problem with somebody and know that they can beat you up. Yeah. Because you've had practices, like you've sparred and rolled with this person and they can just beat you up whenever they want, and then they say some shit that makes you want to fight them.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do? That's when you pull verbal guard. That's a verbal pulling guard. You just gotta like try and talk your way out of it and just kind of.
Right. So I'm better at that. But what if they're too
up.
stupid for it to work?
That's a tough
It's the
one.
worst feeling to have a legitimate problem with a person that you can't beat up. It's a pain in my ass.
Yeah, I think that's where like jokes came from. I think that's what happened.
A defense mechanism for people who are physically weak and not good at fighting.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so funny. That's why I'm so funny. Well, we had a good time. Sensei Seth, I'm glad you managed to horn in and clout chase a little bit here at the end like you always do. I appreciate you. Actually,
I'm just trying.
Y'all don't realize. No, I got you back. No, Seth, I'm gonna give you your props. What Seth knew, Seth is smart. Seth's smart. He knows about content creation, right? He knows Seth's in that like that blue belt phase. You know what I mean? Like he knows his execution and he executes like textbook very well. You know, that's where he's at. You're like a blue belt of YouTube. You know that, Seth?
Okay.
You're like a blue belt of, like you know everything you're supposed to do, right? But like you haven't yet, like you're not thinking on that. You can't see me. I'm doing shit. I'm doing gestures. My hands are up in the air and I'm like moving them back and forth on a plane over my head. You know, that's where you're not like that next
that's where
level.
I am?
No,
I'm up there?
no, you're definitely not. I'm talking about at YouTube. You understand all the fundamentals. This is what Seth did. Seth, correct me if I'm wrong and I'm giving you too much credit. Seth knew I was trying to sort out the Dan thing. And he probably felt or saw me getting distracted and hopped in to fill time so that I could do that, which is exactly what happened. Is that what you did, Seth?
Yeah, that's it.
See, I know that. I know you got my back, homie. Y'all give a shout out.
Before you did that, I was about to say I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And then you said that, and I was like, yeah.
That's a move. That's a good move. Me and Seth do that. Sometimes y'all don't even know when we're on Instagram Live. Sometimes we do that. Like Seth needs to go take a shit or something. I'll hop on his Instagram Live to keep that thing going.
There's like an unspoken co-anchor or a co-host. I'm right there.
CatchJitsu.com says, all right, Icy, you going to make a response vid? Then we will brawl live next Wednesday. Nah, Dan, I don't need to make a response vid because I like getting views and you just don't move the needle, homie.
Damn.
But we will talk next Wednesday. We could even talk between now and then. The problem is he DMs me and I guys, I'm sorry. I've got 3-week-old DMs. I'm now 3. Seth, do you remember when I told you I was caught up on my DMs 3 weeks ago?
Mike, you don't answer my DMs.
I know. Seth is my real life friend. I don't answer his DMs until like days later. And then it's not even about what he DM'd me. So I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, big shout out to Seth. Thanks for stepping in at the exact right time for the exact right reason. Ibrahim Khalil says, yeah, big up Sensei Seth. He's a cool guy, but Icy Mike could have a live call with the Wolfman tomorrow. Seems like too much technical problem. Well, he's old. He doesn't know how to do it. Chip Altman, been in the chat all night. Chip, I love you, brother, and I miss you. Would love for you to get you in here. I would love to get some of my old friends in here to share some, like, I would love y'all to see, like, to hear about young Mike.
That should be a whole episode of you lining up like 3 or 4 buddies.
CatchJitsu. Yeah, I think that could be a regular feature. They could tell you. So you guys think, like, so if I said, hey, you guys all know me pretty well, like fill in the blanks, like what was he like, ways he could have been. I probably was that. At one point, I wasn't Icy Mike. I was Naked Mike. I was like, hey, is Naked Mike coming?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to know more about that.
Yeah. So
the duck thing is still my favorite story ever.
The what thing?
The duck in the living room.
Oh, dude, that was fucking terrifying. I was 4 or 5. I can remember it vividly. 33 years ago.
It's a life defining moment.
Catch Jitsu. Dan the Wolfman says, "Okay, Michael Chiklis." That's funny. That's pretty funny. Archetypal. Chip, help me out. Archetypal Trickster says, Mike, please give me another home workout with no equipment. I'm dying here in quarantine. Just watch.
Got to do my virtual sparring.
Yeah, go do Seth's virtual sparring. And then that doesn't do anything for you. Here's what you do. You go do the workout and just play it in reverse. Just do all the exercises in reverse order. It'd be like a new workout. I'm gonna do another medicine ball workout next week. And the medicine ball workout you can do without a medicine ball. It'll still be a good workout. Thank you guys so much.
YouTube videos backwards? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You download them and then play them backwards. It was a joke, Seth. I'm fucking. I'm filling 2.5 hours out here. You know what I mean? Sometimes I say some shit that makes no sense. Just yes man me. Just laugh and be like, haha, good one, Mike. Or bust my balls. Oh, that's what you were doing. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
I had a lot of fun tonight. This was a good podcast. I enjoyed it. We are going to get Dan the Wolfman in here. We're going to talk about his call out. We're going to talk about the history of catchjitsu.com. We're going to talk about how this legend of the online martial arts community has fallen from grace. I'm going to throw so much clout his way. Someone told me not to cowboy Cerrone someone back into relevance. I'm going to cowboy Cerrone Dan the Wolfman Theodore back into relevance. Because I'm just that nice a dude. And also, maybe he'll toss a movie role my way. Who knows? I'm trying to break into the biz. Thank you guys so much. This was the Icy Mike Imperfect podcast. I'm Icy Mike. My unofficial co-host has been Sensei Seth. And we will see you guys soon. Awkward clicking as I try to end it.